And we're live.
Well, ooh there.
Hello! It's us.
Bruce.
Ooh,
We're
We're
back for more.
doomed.
we're doomed.
Doomed!
Great.
I definitely thought Nat
Oh.
was just leaving.
I was like, oh,
would
that
make
was a
sense.
quick.
Be like, wow,
You know,
That's a
that might be
record.
record.
that's how you survive. You get rid of the DM.
Welcome to Season 4, Episode 7, Quest the Soaring City on the Precipice of Oblivion. It's suitably edgy. That's why we put Zake on the promo art. We're gonna have a good time today.
Objection!
Overruled.
We're not quite to Oblivion yet. We're just
En
right
route.
there.
En route.
We're in the metaphorical golf cart puttering up the hill to the edge of the precipice of Oblivion, but we're taking our time getting there.
Well, yeah, because nobody charged it last night like they were supposed to, so it's just like has to work a little bit harder to get there.
Are those things electric?
Ours
Some
is.
of them are.
Oh, fancy. I didn't know that. Well, last session, was it last session? Yeah, it was last session. The Baron transferred the entire Soaring City to the realm of Shattered Light with Ro and the entire party and most of their friends with it.
This is fine.
Darkened sky,
Might not be fine.
hazy air. You just feel like you slightly suffocating all the time. It's delightful. Wedding venues are really cheap. So,
Now's the time.
Ooh.
yes.
Double wedding?
So,
Double wedding?
Double wedding.
the
Saves even more
Baron
money.
then
Yeah.
the Baron then paid the Heroes of Starfall Spire a visit at their home in Starfall Spire. Was very mean to Zake and hurt his feelings, and then.
Which is the worst thing he's ever done.
It's the most thing he's ever done. And he also made it very clear.
Because if you don't have feelings,
Made it-
nobody can hurt them.
Very clear to the entire city that he would only bring the city of Valerith back to the material realm once everyone submitted to his rule of it. Or they died. He didn't seem to really mind which one happened. Zake and Lena were off to see a friend, a shadowy friend, a masterful shadowy friend.
It's fine.
Arvis.
This is fine.
Nah, I'm just going to get married. No.
What Ferris doesn't know
Paris
won't
is
hurt
gonna
her.
kill you.
What Ferris doesn't know?
What Ferris doesn't know can't hurt her. She'll find out. She has her ways.
Can we stop talking? Lord,
We've reached the ASMR section.
please stop.
The episode.
Sam's face. Sam's face. Just
Sorry, future Sam.
I hate you all so much.
love you too.
In like 9 months, you're gonna get just a bunch of furious Discord messages from me.
I'll set an alert on my calendar. Mentally prepare.
All right. So that's where Zake and Lena are off to. The doctor was off to go find his master, Rowan, for maybe some help. And the rest of the crew were heading down to investigate some sort of building that exploded in the distance.
Yeah,
And they
sounds
ran
fine.
into Mr. Batinga, who was just absolutely traumatized by the situation. And then we cut. We're going to jump forward slightly in time. Just a little bit. Ferris and Alika and Ro have gotten out from the spire a little bit and are now on the very large thoroughfare that leads up to Crown Tower. You can see the collapsed building, which from reports from people on the street, you learned the Baron snapped his fingers and exploded it. At this point, there was a very large crowd of angry citizenry who are starting to form, and people are starting to move towards Crown Tower in mass.
What building was it? Was it like just a random residence? Was it a business or?
It was the new theater.
Oh
Oh,
no,
that
we
we
just
just
fixed
fixed.
that. Oh no.
Fair Baron not a theater fan?
Oh well, at least we get another party when we rebuild it again. Sorry, that's
Yay!
not Faris saying that. Faris just pretty much looks furious. And is gonna just keep walking towards Crown Tower.
I think
Sure.
Rose like trotting to keep up. With my 4
Alika is
hit
among that
points.
group, and her brow is furrowed. She seems a little worried, but is not raising any kind of cry about it.
You okay? I mean, I know you're not okay because everything that's going on is not okay, but what's wrong specifically?
I heard about what he did to those Solari. He wasn't even there, and he slayed 20 well-trained soldiers without a thought. These people are untrained. Are we just marching an entire parade to their death?
It was pretty scary.
You think we should just tell people to turn around and leave?
What else are we supposed to do?
Okay. Faris is gonna like barge her way to the front of the crowd and kind of hold her arms
So-
out.
As you're doing that, you hear the Baron's voice get projected throughout at least the area again. He goes, "So, you're rallying to attempt some sort of daring revolt. Cute. I'm going to show you just how much you need me." And you feel the city begin to drop like a stone.
Faris will cast Aura's Silvery Broadcast.
Yep.
And
While you're falling through the air?
Ro will try to stop the city from falling. Even though we're not in Crown Tower yet, I'll spend the AP to do it.
As you start to reach out to that magic, you feel like literally the magic that powers Valera has just been turned off entirely. Like there's nothing to access.
Okay. Then Ro will just sort of be like exclaim, "Oh no, I can't stop it. He did something different."
Using the broadcast spell, Faris will say, "There's no need to do this. Everyone turn around. We're figuring it out."
The city crashes into the ground. It's not like this super jarring, murderous crash. What you hit is somehow somewhat amorphous and squishy. You can feel it, how the city reverberates. You do hear at least one building crumble in the distance. And then you hear things starting to stalk the alleys of Valerith. You hear the scrabbling of dozens of creatures of the realm of Shattered Light boarding the city. But the people did stop walking towards Crown Tower.
I don't like this.
Go back to your homes now.
Why don't you roll me the die to see how persuasive you are? Some people will listen no matter what, don't get me wrong, but it's just like, how much confidence can you command?
12.
That's a mixed success. So, mixed success, I offer you a couple options. You know how this works. So one of the options, one of the easy options is most people do it, comply, but the more adventurous sort try to stay out and combat the things. The other one is it happens, people go back to their homes, but a significant location that's important to you gets attacked by the creatures directly.
I think the first one.
Okay. Some people gonna die tonight.
And Ro's gonna cast Prey Sense, just while Ferris is sort of calling out, which sharpens my sense of danger for the next hour. I get a subtle signal in my bod whenever I'm going to be imminently threatened by another creature, whether I can see it or not. So
Delightful.
I figure that might be useful.
Maybe a little bit. These tend to be ambush predators, so yeah. gonna jump over to Lena and Zake. So you're making your way towards the Julep Cemetery, right?
Yeah.
Making our way down.
And then
tower.
suddenly
Walking
you
fast.
heard the Baron's broadcast, and then the city just dropped out of the sky.
Yeah.
Julep Cemetery is kind of near the rim, so you actually can see things moving in the hazy darkness approaching the city, crawling up the side.
How long would you say the period between the drop and the city stopping?
It wasn't that long. A couple seconds.
Okay, fair enough. What the fuck was that?
Did somebody turned Valerith off?
We can't be here. We need to hide the things out there. If kind of points in the general vicinity of the outer rim, you'll just kill everyone.
We need to go to the cemetery. Like, there's only one place to go. Otherwise, we're gonna miss our chance.
Let's run though. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
If you see one of them, stay still. Walk slowly.
Is their vision based on movement?
Kind of.
They are now. All right.
They're T-Rexes.
You two get to the cemetery. You have the pocket watch that was left over.
Mhm.
You see the clock just across in the cemetery.
Mhm.
About 4 minutes off time.
Early?
Yeah,
Oh.
early.
Big. I'm gonna pull the pocket watch out and like look at him and be like, all right, we've got 4-ish minutes to bide our time, or I don't know, hope nothing comes stalking up from down.
That would be for the best, trust me. Remember once when I came back and even went to the doctor's room because
Yeah.
yeah, were these things that did that, so you can imagine the type.
Shit.
Yeah.
It's like you hear the sound like stone grinding on stone.
Do I see
What was that?
anything? Or just the sound?
You look as you snap around to look. You spot two things. First of all, there's that oily black-red silhouette stalking amongst the cemetery. But secondly, notice that the gravestone, the headstone for Norm's grave that leads down into the earth is aside.
It just takes their hand to their lips and the finger and just that towards Lena.
You see a head pop up from the stairs that descend down from the false headstone. Dark hair, looking around, and then you are so familiar with this scene. You can see this thing stalking and approaching. You know it's about to pounce.
Do I recognize the person coming out at all?
It's far away, and it's just the silhouette of a head. They have long hair.
Damn. Shit. Lena, follow me. And Zeke will once more try and drop their heartbeats to a minimum and walk super slowly and try to outflank the flanking creature that's trying to attack the person coming out of the grave.
Okay. Lena, what do you do as you see Zeke start to advance into the graveyard very carefully?
I mean, Zeke said, "Follow me," and that's what Lena's gonna do.
So in the quiet of the darkness, Zeke completely tries to steal their heartbeats and probably notices that Lena's not doing the same, and just grabs her by the hands and just does a gesture of calm down. And continues.
It's like does like a couple like deep breaths, and then like kind like she's worked up, but like is also a professional, and kind of just like after a couple deep breaths, just like kind of settles into a calm in spite of really not feeling calm.
I know that well.
Mm.
All right, so Nunu, what's the end goal? You're trying to intercept this stalk. You're trying to get it to scare away in some way. Not as easy. Or you're trying to get close enough you can act if it acts.
Yeah, so the plan is to get closer without drawing attention of the creature towards us and try and assess the situation. If it's someone we know and actually would like the creature to tackle them, then we do nothing. If it's someone that might be lost or that we know that's on our side or something, then probably would be intercept the attack.
Could you roll the die for me? This will represent
Absolutely.
the endeavor for both you and Lena.
Please roll high.
Sorry, Megan.
I trust you.
17. 17 is nice.
Oh,
Oh yeah, okay.
17's
So you're able to
nice.
you're able to get close before the thing pounces. You're able to identify this person. Remember the cultist Venestra? She was the one who was she was the one who was Batinga's sister and was invested with the darkness of the fear of Tegan for a while, but got cured, put in jail, and then escaped in the meteor kerfuffle.
Oh, it was Batinga's sister, wasn't it? Oh, I hate this so
Yes,
much.
it was. Don't you?
Oh, no. Zeke just turns to Lena and in gestures like, opens their hands wide.
I'm gonna take out the pocket watch and look at the time real quick.
2 minutes.
Oof.
I'm just like,
Kind of, that's enough. This is all like non-verbal communication, right? Just
yeah.
gestures.
I
Yeah,
imagine they
but
have
it's Zeke and
very
Lena, so they
intense-
can do it pretty
they
well.
have-
Yeah.
They have very intense non-verbal communication.
Exactly. Just gesturing wildly.
It's like-
That's enough. Like, it's Batinga's sister. Yeah. 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 I don't know what you're saying, Megan, but I assume you're saying
No, just-
intercept.
Yeah, just it's fine.
Zeke, you hear this
I'll take her
little
out.
grinding of the stalker's hooves in the dirt, and you know that it's about to pounce.
Ooh. Gesture to Lena the exact moment it's about to pounce and take the momentum to try and slide underneath it and strike it in a weak point.
All right. Why does suddenly feel like Horizon Zero Dawn? Anyway. Yeah, roll the die for that as it jumps out and you see this long grinding horn that comes out of like their shoulder going in right for her neck. She reacts to you leaping out because that's the direction she's facing. She still has not even noticed this thing.
Yep.
Her mouth opens wide and she starts to invoke some spell. Roll the die.
There we go.
Well,
That's a 11.
Mixed success. All right, so you are able to strike it and dispatch it, but she will do something bad to you, or you just get it to hit you instead of her. Choose your poison.
That's that. It hits me instead of her.
All right, its blood oily horn digs into your collarbone and deals 4 damage.
I activate Wraith.
What? Next is Lena.
Okay, so Wraith triggers in response to that.
Oh, gotcha. I didn't
Yeah.
realize it was a right. Gotcha. Yeah, so it
It's like on
stabs
0
into
hit
you.
points.
You start to go incorporeal. This thing has dived in at your fiance and impaled them partially. What do you do?
What are you doing walking around with 4 hit points?
I don't know.
You fought Aaron today. That's what it is.
But oh god.
Is it
So
kabang?
first they. No, we have to be quiet.
No, kabang, please.
Dang it! Dang it!
That's right. Like I think first there's like that moment where like she wants to like exclaim something, but then kind of like pulls it back in because it's like, oh, gotta be quiet. It's like, oh. And then I guess like how corporeal is this thing? Like,
It's corporeal. Sometimes parts of its body have abnormal spatial dimensions inside it. You can see it swallow people a hole that it probably shouldn't be able to. You've seen that happen. But as a whole, it's
I've seen that
corporeal.
happen?
Yeah, when 2 of these came out when you fixed Zake. One of them swallowed Ferris.
That's right.
And then Ferris like exploded out of it with the last light. It was pretty cool.
And it was pretty cool. Yeah. It was the anime version of it looked awesome.
Very gross, but cool.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna shoot it because I don't want to make
You
more
shoot it?
noise. No, I don't. We have 2 minutes. We're on a time crunch.
Hurry up.
I'm gonna. Oh god, this is such a bad idea. I'm just gonna jump on it. Does it have like? Is this like a creature or is this like?
Are you asking if it can be
amorphous-
poisoned?
No, I'm asking if it has like a back of neck that I could stab a knife into.
Yes, it has a back of neck which you can stab a knife into. Absolutely.
I would like to stab a knife into the back of its neck.
All right, roll me the die.
Oh, I do have sneak attack. I do.
True. When it stabbed
But it's
Zake,
my
you could
turn.
stab it.
Yeah.
Yes. So can I stab it once as it stabs Zake and then stab it a second time as my thing?
Absolutely.
okay?
I think that costs like an AP.
That's
So why don't you just
It
roll
does,
both
yeah.
those
Sneak
attacks
attack
at once?
does.
Just roll 2d20s.
okay. Cool. I'm gonna make the second one a wild attack.
Hey.
Fantastic.
Ooh, that's not great. So the sneak attack was a 10, but the
Makes
wild
sense.
attack was an 18,
Ooh.
which is double.
Okay,
damage.
so
Almost.
taking half damage on the mixed success, you dive forward, stab blade and arm blade into it.
Yeah.
It shudders, and then starts to, and then you just see it like it. There's little flakes of darkness that pervade the air. It just kind of explodes into a bunch of those. Kind of like Twilight Princess enemies dying. That's what it's like. Yes. I'm sorry for using my archaic Zelda references. They explode and dissolves, and then Vanestra's like, "Thanks for the assist."
Zeke kind of turns around, completely starry form.
See fire in her hand.
Not gonna happen again. Just get to safety.
Leave.
Be quiet. These things react to sound.
She snuffs out her fire. Lena, you feel the pocket watch like thrum with some arcane energy.
All right. Yeah. Just for Megan's curiosity, also for Lena's curiosity, if Lena were to like go and like put her hand like on Zake's like face or like shoulder or anything, like would she pass through you? Would she pass through you?
Ooh.
Is that what you're hoping for?
Kind of. Like,
I
because
think-
Lena being Lena, I don't like. There hasn't been a moment where like this has happened that everything wasn't exploding, where she actually has time to just be like, "What is this?"
I think it feels like almost like water as you go through, but then as you take it out, it's your hand is dry, right? It's a very weird sensation.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen better
we-
days, but as long as there's no magic, it should be fine.
Well, there's gonna be magic.
Well, have to
Spoiler alert.
cross that bridge once we get there, right?
Yeah, well, speaking of bridges to cross, I'm gonna like hold up the pocket watch and be like, we gotta go.
Let's go.
There's another one. Vanestra invokes a small spell and flicks her finger, and there's a bead of glowing energy that flies through the air for about maybe 100 feet, and then with a large concussive explosion, just and you see a few of these things explode. And she looks really proud of herself for a moment.
Nat, that sounds like a powerful thing.
You want to spell steal that?
I want to spell steal that, yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. It's like the magic version of like a rocket.
Wow. Okay. As he goes, what are you doing? No. And just has time to analyze how it's done, but not stop it.
Yeah.
I think, and Lena's like hurrying towards like where she knows they have to meet, and like goes to like reach out and grab Zake's hand, but can't because they are made of stars. And
Zeke turns one last time to Vanestra. I warned you. You made your own bed. Now we gotta go. And runs behind Lena.
And you hear these things moving as they have all reacted to the giant concussion and are converging on the point. And you see a flicker of fear, and then just stone over with like, I couldn't have done that wrong. And then she ducks down and hits something on the wall, and the
Idiot.
heads down, slides back over.
How would have you explained it to Batinga if she?
you just don't mention it. It's not like he's gonna be like, hey, have you guys seen my sister who was in jail and then wasn't in jail by any chance?
Have to live with it though. Every time you met, doesn't matter. Let's deal with this.
The creatures are converging, and you're running back to the opening of the cemetery, which is where Arbus usually meets Lena. And then as you approach that area, you can see these creatures. They're closing in. There's at least half a dozen of them. And then with a slight warping sound, you see Arbus appear. It's different. It's not a usual teleport. It's like stepping through a vortex.
Like he's coming out to see us, or he has warped us to go to.
He had come out to see you. He surveys the situation briefly, and then looks at each of you in turn, and there's a little flash of magenta on his eyes as you all get taken to that dream space where that Arbus can hold conversations that are longer than the actual time frame they take.
I'm like, this isn't a place to have a meeting, Harvest.
Yep, he figured that out. But we're gonna jump over to the doctor.
Oh, hello.
Dr. Falwyn Denor. You're looking for your Master Owen. Where would the doctor look for her?
Well, the doctor had been told that she was staying somewhere in the city. And assumes that... Why am I talking in the accent? And would
You can. It's fine.
I know I can. And would assume, based on the way she is, that she would probably be somewhere where there may be likely more sick people than other places. She likes to heal people.
Sure. Valerith isn't super big. I mean, there is more than one hospital, but there's one main, medical location.
Okay.
And there aren't that many places to stay nearby. So as soon as you get into that area, the building for the hospital has these beautiful columns on it, but that's not really the point right now. You actually see her hanging out outside the door, watching the streets, figuring out what's going on.
Just a moment, there's in the doctor's chest just a dum, 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 dum. And then
Oh, baby.
After just pausing for a moment and then gathering themselves, the doctor will march over towards their master, and as he steps up to her, just take his hat off and be like, "Oh, master, It is me. It is Fallwind no. Hello.
No time for formality. Where are we?
Right. I believe it is called the Realm of Shattered Light.
Oh, that's not good.
You know of it. Okay, that is... I don't have to explain more then. If you remember, I had someone drop a letter off with you a while back explaining Ro's condition. As a matter, Ro, who is a child in our care, is connected to the Baron Culvrax by some kind of thread or something. And I don't know, but I was wondering, because you are such a mass of knowledge, do you have any idea of how to sever that kind of link? Because we cannot kill the Baron while they are linked.
I need to see the child.
Right, I believe they went to Crown Tower.
Then take me to Crown Tower. It's at that point when the city drops.
Okay. I wonder if the city is larger than an elephant.
City is significantly larger than an elephant, Robert.
Darn it! Oh no, what is going on here?
Actually, every single adventure we've ever had has actually just been happening on one roughly elephant-sized platform.
Yeah.
Oh. Where we are, how far is that from Crown Tower?
Not far. The hospital is fairly centralized.
Okay, so it's closer than Starfall Spire.
Yes.
Okay. Because if it wasn't, I would just AP.
Yeah.
Doctor's like, I don't know what's happening, but I guess let's go. And without even thinking, we'll grab hold of Master Rowan's hand and start just dragging them towards the tower.
She runs along with you. Back to Ferris and Ro. So the people are dispersing, at least for now. Some of them are really grumpy about it. There's not, the level of hope in the streets is not particularly outstanding.
Yeah.
And
I think at this point, Faris is kind of resorting to looking as intimidating as possible to make people leave rather than trying to inspire hope, because she knows that it's not going to work. She'll also heal herself and Ro while this is happening, because she sees creatures stalking around. So puts a hand on her chest, heals herself, heals Ro, looks at Alika. You good?
I'm good.
Okay. So Sam, you regain 6.
Yeah.
Maybe to full.
Yeah. At this point, the city has listed slightly eastward. So, Julep Cemetery is ever so slightly downhill now.
Do we still try to go to the tower now?
I honestly don't know.
Maybe I can try and fix it again. It's easier to do things when I'm there with this dumb thing. They just tap on their necklace.
But that's where he is, right?
Yeah.
Well, you and Alika know how the city works. What's he done to turn off the magic? Can we make it come back on?
I don't know. I tried to stop it falling, but I can't. I don't feel the city there like I normally do. But when he brought the city to this place, he brought me to the top of the tower, and he was using those metal eyes, like the one that we got from Darnell.
Okay.
So maybe we can use those to turn it back on?
Valeris never run out of power before. It's always just been a constant. But we could try.
Well, we know that he has the ability to siphon other things' power. She looks around. Are any of those creatures coming anywhere near them?
You're near Crown Tower. You're right near the center of the city, so it's theoretically where it would take the longest for the creatures to get to. But Crown Tower has some very strong sight lines, intentionally built that way, so you can start to see them moving out in the farther rim of the city.
Yeah. As much as
I don't like those
we
things.
should probably defend people, I think if we can get the city back up in the air, that's probably going to be the most beneficial in the long run, isn't it?
To call Vanguard.
Let's try and get the city flying again, at least.
Okay, I can try and fly us up, but he might be able to see us coming, I guess, that way. I don't know the best way.
Stealthiest.
Then I can fly us, I guess. Maybe he won't, like, knock me down, because he needs me. Or just sticks their tongue out, like, vaguely at the top of the tower.
Varys looks so guilty. Maybe not. Are there any other ways into the tower other than just flying straight in?
Front door up the spiral.
You guys don't have any secret entrances or anything that I don't know about?
No, nothing you don't know about.
Okay. Well, if the Iron Eye's at the top, I guess that's where we need to go, isn't it?
You can see the creature starting to creep closer. And then that's when you spot the doctor running as fast as you have ever seen him sprint. It's kind of terrifying actually, seeing something that tall move that quickly. It stretches and contorts in such shapes.
I've seen this anime before.
It's like, wait, hold off.
And as they approach, when they get nearby, two of those stalker creatures leap out from an alleyway and dive at them. Ro, you saw this coming. You had that little feeling, so you get to act first.
Ooh. Okay, let me just double check how this thingy works. I think I'm going to just sort of yell at, watch out! And like fling my hand out, and I'm gonna cast, I don't know, is this a minion?
These are minions, yes.
Okay, then I'm just gonna real easy cast freeze, which encases a nearby commoner, minion, or object in ice until I leave the scene, so it cannot move or act. It will shatter and the creature will be freed if it takes any additional damage, but at least one of these things is just sort of like cartoon, like, you know, Dr. Freeze frozen as it jumps out at the doctor.
One of them dives out with its large horn angled at Master Rowan, and Ro just, and it freezes solid, poised in the air. The other one finishes its pounces, going to attack the doctor. With a natural 20, it'll pierce the doctor solidly for 8 points of damage.
Very rude. Is this considered magical?
No.
Okay, thanks for hitting
Yeah,
my force
no.
Yeah, force field blocks. I was like sitting there like, no, it's not. Force field tanks 8, and then the rest of our protagonists get to act.
Unless Robert would like to go first, I will.
Yeah, why not? I mean, I just got attacked.
Yeah.
How many are
Yeah.
there nearby?
There's 2, but one was frozen, so there's really only one enemy.
Ah, frozen. Okay, that's...
Yeah, and it'll unfreeze if you attack it, like if it takes damage. But otherwise, it's frozen until Ro leaves the scene. So until we leave, it's
Sure.
just gonna be hanging
Yeah.
out.
The doctor will...
Down the street.
The doctor will reach a hand out towards Ferris, and you watch as light begins to peel off of Ferris into the doctor's hand, and then wraps around the doctor's fist as he pulls it back and then slams it into the creature that had just attacked him. I'm using 3 AP for telekinesis to hit it for 6.
And it just launches, slams in a building, and pops and disintegrates.
Faris, who was in the process of drawing her spear, is just like, what?
We'll talk about it later.
That's my
That was
magic.
weird, right?
Yeah, that was weird, but you know what, right now there's weirder stuff. Are you okay? What's going on?
Hello.
Master Rowan moves up to Rowan examining Ro, and is going to kneel, and she has like her bird mask on as well. That is her, and kind of weird clawish almost hands. And she is going to just hold them out in a very disarming manner. And go, I'm going to take a look at you, child. Is that okay?
Oh. I guess we were gonna go up to the tower, though. I don't know.
I can go with you.
Just quickly for everyone, this is my master, Nasria Rowan. I asked her to see if there was a way to sever the link between Ro and the Baron.
Oh,
Well, do that now then.
The
okay.
examination will take some time.
Oh. Do you still want me to take us to the tower then? Or should I don't know, do this?
I mean, if we can sever the connection between Ro and the Baron, we can kill the Baron. Which
How
will
long do you
solve
think it would take?
this.
10 minutes.
Do it. If any of those creatures
All right.
come, we'll protect you.
All right, lay down.
Okay.
I will
Alright.
cast Force Field, by the way, and just wrap it around all of us.
Ro just plops
Nice little
down
perimeter.
in the middle of the street.
Yeah. This harsh light comes out of her hands. It's weird. It's like the light is bright, but it cuts off so quickly. And she waves it over Ro's body and then fixates on Ro's foot for some time. About 3 minutes into the examination, you start to see these creatures gathering, moving between the different alleyways and streets. They're circling like sharks. They smell blood.
Force field completely around us.
Yep.
Yes.
Can
So-
we-
It only has 20
just a-
HP.
Yeah, mechanical question for Robert. Can we, like, fire spells through the force field because it's our
Spells,
force
yes.
field? Okay.
And technically on the inside, you can walk out. You just can't get back in.
Okay. Good to know. If any of them look like they're about to start pouncing, I'll, like, last light them.
There are for now there's about 4 and they're stalking.
Okay.
Is there
Faris will
any
just watch them.
ignitable material outside of the force field that doesn't look like it would light the entire city on fire?
Most of the structure in here was military installations made of stone originally, so probably not.
Okay.
We're gonna jump over to Lena and Zake. You whisked away into this little mirror conversation place, which is always on top of a high wall around Valerith. But normally the horizon is this kind of magenta sky that extends down and forward as far as you can see. But it is just has spiderweb cracking, fingering to grasp the very sky itself. Shards of dark, imposing, even on this palace of the psyche. So the situation has significantly escalated since we last discussed.
That's one way of putting it, yes.
What do you know?
Gods. The Baron is back, as a lich. Gaining power, is tied to Ro in some way. Like, gonna like look over it and be like, what am I forgetting? Be like, he brought us
Correct.
here.
Yeah, the Baron transported the entire city. Well, I'm
assuming you're not here. But
I'm a little
the
more
city
here
is
than
all-
normal.
That sucks.
I figured it's not easy to be here without being here.
Yeah.
Yes. We're in dire situations. Valerith has been reactivated. As far as I can ascertain, all of its combat abilities are back under the Baron's control.
But it's not doing anything. It's just
The teleportation was one of its higher end defense mechanisms in case of emergencies. Now, we have two options, because the city, as in the state it's in, cannot be allowed to return to the realm under his control. We have two options. We can either sabotage the city's ability to return, or we remove the Baron. I'm assuming you're more amenable to the second.
yeah, the latter's definitely
That would be preferable.
better.
Unless
However, there
one
is
is much easier than the other.
well, easier is definitely an operative word, considering the Baron can't die as long as Ro is still alive.
Yes.
So I mean, easier on paper, yes, but
Easier for you, perhaps.
Taking the child Everlight as the sole vessel. It's basically cheating.
I mean, as far as villainous plays go, it's pretty good. But now we have to stop it.
All right. Holds out a hand to Zeke. I suggest we form a formal truce for the time being.
Why is Zeke the one that gets to shake on it? Says
Because
Megan.
I know you'd take it. I know you'd take it already.
I don't think
I'm just gonna like look at Zeke.
It ends once either the Baron's dead or the CD is unable to return. Agreed?
Agreed.
And we can't speak for all of us.
Yeah.
No, but you can convince them. You two are easily the most convincing members of your group.
Oh, you are giving us far too much credit, but sure.
Am I a liaison to the Empire?
You've met Ferris, right?
Regrettably. All right.
No, you're correct.
Holds out his hand to Zeke. Are you still a star?
Absolutely, yeah.
Fucking star boy.
Yeah. Can we just agree to agree? This is not going to work.
Yes. Yes. All right. Well, I have 2 usable operatives in the city of this caliber. Everyone else will just get themselves killed. I have 1 other in powerful asset that I can get there. Extra planar activities are somewhat their specialty.
Convenient.
Yes. Beyond that, you might be able to use, like Dream Realm. I have something for you when we're running away from this. He says, looking at Lena.
For me. Okay.
I need you to hold tight until my operative gets there. Besides that, there's one other lead you might be able to run down. There is an ancient sword of Valerith. There's some research being done at the public college about it. I think the Adventurers Club has been endeavoring about it. A visit there might be able to uncover information. Supposedly, whoever held the sword could sever any tie. This is legends and hypotheticals, but that's the best we have to operate on right now, is legends and hope.
Good lead as any. Otherwise, what? Just survive?
Don't die.
How long do you think we have before we have to make the decision of just cutting off the ties of Valerith with the other side?
Well, there is always one other option.
There's always another option.
Your dear friend, the wolf child, bound to the Baron, vessel of soul. If they fall, the Baron can die. The magic imbued into that soul tether will prevent Ro from coming back if they're just killed.
And just hypothetically, which one of my friends are you going to ask me to murder next?
Look, otherwise we're facing the impossible. Facing the impossible is about being willing.
Well, joke's on you because I've done the impossible once already, so...
Do it again.
That's
It
the
might come
plan.
down to that.
Plan A, do the impossible. Plan B, cut our losses. Plan C, we'll see about that, right? But
Yeah,
I do
there is no
understand that,
plan C.
Narvis.
If the cut our losses plan gets used, there is a sanctum deep inside Valerith. Think of like the throne or the heart. If certain aspects are damaged there, its magical capabilities will be undone. And it will be stuck here forever.
Well,
What a crypt that would be. The brightest vestige of a dark world.
how poetic. But that's
Well-
not going to happen.
In theory, if it comes to that, you could make a bridge. It's dangerous. We could go back, just not the city. She has the power.
Yes. Sacrifice the city. Save the few that we could. That is an option. I, for one, view that as a failure state, but we do stand on the precipice of Oblivion, so I guess it's worth considering.
Roll credits.
Good.
Yeah.
I guess this just means that there's only one solid option. And that's to complete the impossible once again.
When we go back to present time, and as he says that, you can kind of see the vision of what you could see. You kind of fades it halfway in with all the stalkers looming, and you can see them moving in super slow motion. I can warp you to wherever you need to be in the city. Where would you like that to be?
Lena, You gonna chase a legend or what?
Your friends are
Always.
currently outside Crown Tower. I could take you to them. They're mildly surrounded.
Okay.
How cool would we look? Appearing out of nowhere, fighting a bunch of monsters.
And might as well just rip up the band-aid as soon as possible, right? About gestures towards this conversation.
No,
This
it'll be a moment for the comic book, if whoever is writing them is here.
fucking Blue Jay.
We can't all be winners. I'll just look at Arvis and be like, all right, take us there.
All right.
I assume we'll hear from you once your operative is in place.
Lena will.
Of course.
And there, in the flash of magenta, you find yourself back in the physical place. Marvis's arms move very deftly, very prepared. He slaps something into Lena's hand, something small, immediately turns you both around and touches above your shoulders, and those as to the two runes above and below close on each of you to take you elsewhere. The camera lingers a moment as he stands with the oncoming stalkers barreling down. He just sighs. And then we cut off. Back to Crown Tower, where the group is more surrounded than when we left them. When I left, there were about 4 of them. They've started to gather. They let out these very subtle thrumming calls that shake the ground, and just you feel the vibration pervade through you. As there's at least 12 of these things outside now, stalking.
Faris will ask the master, how much longer do you need?
Just another minute.
Okay.
And you can hear in her voice, the news isn't good. And then there's this warping sound as you see these runes pull apart as Lena and Zake appear inside the force field.
Ah!
Ah, good, you're back.
The
So
method
crowded
of
in
teleportation being quite similar. Unfamiliar.
Oh, I think Faris would instantly recognize it.
Oh yes, at this point.
And she just glowers.
Hello.
How was your meeting?
Productive.
Fine.
Seems like you're in a bit of a pickle.
Lena, just look at your
Yes.
hand. There is a small earring. Just stud. It has a slight crescent to it. It has a blue glimmer. You can tell, for your training as a spy with small items of artifice, that it is magical.
Okay. I'm gonna tuck it somewhere that I know I won't lose it in a scuffle. And then I'm gonna get
Sure.
into a scuffle. Time for scuffling.
Master Owen, the light recedes in her hands, and she's like, all right, so, and as she's saying that, the stalkers pounce and begin crashing against the force field. But y'all are ready for this, at least on some level, so what do the protagonists do?
Faris was holding a last light for the moment she saw one pounce. And I believe
Right.
they are minions, so it will instantly turn to dust and die.
Yeah, yes, it will. You just, the first one jumps out, Ferris shoots at a beam of light, and it just disintegrates before it reaches the force field.
Mhm.
So we can't pass through the force field, right, Robert?
You
You
can
can go
just-
out, you can't come back.
You can't come back.
Oh,
I
we
mean,
can't
you
come
could
back.
come back if the doctor opened it, but then that,
Yeah.
Also,
sure.
I would say that Zake, being stars, is magic and can probably pass through it anyway.
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, because magic
Ah.
can pass through. Yeah.
Interesting. How many did you say there were there? Not
There were 11 remaining. Ferris just killed one.
as they appear and have this brief conversation. It's like just unsheathes his swords. All right, be right back, and just jumps outside, crossing the field, and let's slay her.
You have no hit
So in my head
points.
was Star.
What?
Can't hit me.
Starboy plays in the background.
Yes, right. It's fine. So in my head, how this works is like the starry material that makes up Zake actually like flows apart into multiple pieces and strikes these different creatures down. They dissolve, disintegrate, and then they reform back together. Do you want to go back inside the force field or stay outside?
Yes, please. Go
Okay.
back inside.
You kill half of them, so there are 5 more dead.
Okay.
Rounding up, so 6 more dead.
Oh, rounds up. There's 6 more, so there's 5 remaining.
Oh.
Ferris's last light was not in vain.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna go stab one of them. Please.
Sure, wild attack.
Why are you
Don't
going
you mind that
outside? You have 4 hit
Go
points.
outside.
Me?
Yes.
I have 10 hit points.
Did you say you had like no? Oh, you're on full health. Okay.
Yeah.
No, Zake has no hit points. I have 10 hit points. Which means I have 8 hit points to spare.
Because Lena's
Nice.
invincible.
I am a god. I
am
fear
a golden
nothing.
god.
Believe you me, those 8
All right.
hit points are a bastardization of your entire.
Do you think
AP.
these things could be poisoned?
They definitely bleed something. It's kind of oilish, but they bleed something.
All
If
right,
it bleeds, you can kill it.
Noted. I'm gonna try. I'm just gonna go to the one that is closest to us and stab it.
So to
with
do that,
some-
you do have to exit the force field.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool.
Yippee kayak, mother fathers.
Give me a roll. Is it a wild attack or a normal attack?
No, I'm just gonna try to poison it. So I just need to
Sure.
hit.
Cool.
But I don't, because that's a 5.
All right. When you roll
Oops.
failures against these things, they get to immediately try to impale you back.
Oops.
And that's an 18. So it's as you try to go in for the stab, it turns and just catches you. Zake, do you have would you like to intercept?
I would like to intercept this, please.
Okay.
No.
Yes.
So
He's a wraith.
Lena is diving forward. You can see its horn turning to impale her as she dives, and you just jump forward, holding your sword, and just smack because your sword is still solid. And you just smack your sword against the horn to divert it, and it's going to an 18 against you. However, it's non-magic damage, so I believe it does nothing against Wraithzake.
That does nothing against Wraithzake. That's true.
Delightful. Dr. Rowe.
Yeah, so the doctor's gonna reach their hand forward, and you watch the one that was vaporized by last light. The remainder of light that is left in the corpse peels out into the doctor's hand, wraps around it, and then the doctor smashes their hand down on the ground. And I'm going to use clap to hit 3 of them for 2 damage as just light radiates out across the ground.
So you continue kind of eerily stealing Ferris's light magic. Delightful, delightful. And you give these stalkers some clap, and one of them dies from it.
And if they're the size of a horse or smaller, they are knocked to the ground.
They're about the size of a horse, so yeah, sure.
Going to need to have a conversation.
Who among the group looks the most wounded? Who is inside the force field? That is Dr. Ferris Rowe.
It was at full since Ferris
Faris is
healed
also
them.
full. Yeah.
So all of us technically, because we all look the same amount.
Nice.
I mean, it's Zake because he's at 0, but he's a wraith, so.
But he's a star ghost.
Star Ghost.
All right. Well, Rowe, what do you do then?
How many of these things are left right now?
4.
I mean, Rose kind of only got one big hitter that they know how to do. So
Fireball.
yeah, I think they're just sort of like panicked and like lying on the ground, like looking around at everything happening around them, and they're just gonna be like, "Leave my pack alone!" And this fireball's gonna like radiate out. Let's see if I kill us all.
Excuse.
Oh, it's fine. The explosion hits up to 4 creatures near point of impact that I get to pick. So I want to
You
hit those
vaporize the remaining 4 stalkers in a giant gout of flame.
Top team.
Sam, I just want to say that if that hit me, I would take double damage in raid form.
Well,
And
Ro
then-
doesn't know.
And then
12
die.
damage at 0, so then roll a die. If it's 11 or lower, Zake dies.
Yep.
Please stop talking. Please stop talking. Stop
I
saying
just
words.
need to roll above a 5.
Please stop saying words.
25% chance of failure.
Totally fine.
Nunu, have you got your new character ready?
Yeah, it's fine.
Cool. Okay. It's Roderick.
Master
kill all of
Master
you.
Rowan is looking at Wraith Zake. Very interestingly.
Hey, can we focus on Ro?
Oh, right. Alright, so the soul tether is woven directly into the fabric of their soul. It is bound to this physical form, it's bound to their soul, it's bound to their mind.
And we sever it. How?
It's impossible.
That's what the
You'd
moon
need-
said too.
You'd need power of you go back to the dawn of time to get that kind of power.
As Master Rowan says that, Zeke and Lena, I assume, go back inside the circle. Zeke just walks in, Lena bumps against the force field.
Lena bumps against the force field, but it's kind of low, all things considered. So you probably do one of those Mario side jumps over.
Yeah.
Well,
Whoa, I
good
domed
thing-
this shit.
Well, good thing we have a track record of doing the impossible, because
There's a magic sword.
that can sever the connection in theory.
Oh, that Arvis told you about?
Correct.
Yep.
And you trust him?
Nope.
Really?
Mm-mm.
But the truth is, there's no
We
other
don't have a
option.
choice.
How does it work? Where do we get it?
We have to go to college.
Exactly. Apparently, the kids over at Adventurers Club have been doing some kind of research on the topic, so we might have to speak to some college folk.
Fine, let's go.
Okay, that's plan A. Find the sword, sever the connection, kill the Baron. Plan B, deactivate the city, prevent it from ever going back.
Wait, what?
We're not going with. We're gonna go with Plan A because we're
That's
gonna
why
find
it's
the magic
called
sword.
Plan B, everyone. Just, I want you to know
Need a
what's
backup
at risk
plan, though.
here.
What, do we have another backup plan?
We do.
We
It's
do.
Alika.
We're definitely
The
not
other
using
backup
the
plan is not acceptable.
Exactly.
So, just have to make Plan A work, right?
Right.
Do you think that this historians that you guys know might also have something that could be done if plan A and B don't work for some reason?
I mean, I think
maybe. But
perhaps, given that his name is the Historian, if we're chasing a magical artifact of legend,
he
perhaps we
probably
should
knows.
swing by first.
So
For
why
them
didn't
to
you go and
cover.
see him instead of the man who has routinely betrayed us?
We have a, looks at Lena, limited time frame to contact that man. Now we have the
Right.
information we need. If it turns out it's true, then the Historian might know more.
Sure, just fight
Just-
whoever you want. Let's go see the historian then.
This is gonna be
Or
great.
college,
He loves
whichever
people.
There is a small silvery bird made of moonlight? Question mark. That flutters down from the south and approaches the group and starts to flutter around the outside of the force field.
Do we recognize it?
This isn't a magic you've seen before.
I've never seen a bird like that.
Is that the moon?
Is the moon in this place?
Ooh.
Ro, can you speak to it?
Oh, I don't know. I can try. Hi, hello, I'm Ro. I'll cast
The
Speak
bird
with
doesn't
Animals.
respond. The bird does not respond because it's made of magic and doesn't know language. So it's very clearly trying to get to Ferris.
It's not answering me, but I think it likes Ferris.
Note, if it's made of magic, it can certainly get to Ferris.
Oh yeah.
Shh, Nat
Yeah.
forgets that sometimes. Don't worry. You know, actually, I got this. It's carrying something that's physical, and it can't pull that part through it. You know, it's like
Maybe.
it's going like, "Meh, let me in."
Faris will step outside the barrier. Spear still drawn.
The bird lands in your hand and unfolds. And there's a note from Neural that says, "So all these shadowy things started calling up the outside, and we're kind of barricaded inside the tower now. I got 3 kids and a baker, and we're all very scared right now."
Shit.
What's wrong?
Yeah, what is it?
Neural, Naima, Camille, Everett, and Batinga are barricaded inside Starfall Spire, and the creatures are climbing
Oh,
up
no.
it.
I can fly some of us there. I was gonna do that anyway.
Question, is Starfall Spire like en route back to head towards either the Historian or the college?
So
Can we teleport there?
Starfall Spire is relatively close to the college. The Historian's at the Elysium, which is close to where you are now at Crown Tower.
We could do what we literally just did and split up again. Send Lina and Zake to see their friend, and rest of us go back.
No offense, but Lena and Zake don't seem to be making great decisions while they're away from us right now.
Yeah, you don't look that great. You need...
They're fine. We're fine. We just need to
Actually,
get
if you
work
can,
done.
There's a boom, 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 boom sound as the Baron has appeared in the middle of your group.
What?
oh gosh.
So, have you considered giving up yet? Heroes of Starfall Spire. Does the doctor heal Zeke?
Yes, I heal Zake immediately.
Before-
Okay, cool.
Zeke turns back to corporeal, just completely beating the shit out of, and then accept the heal.
I mean, I can heal you through
Really
that
cool.
because it's magic.
Does it heal you
but
for
I can't regain hit points while in raid form.
Oh, right. Gotcha.
Special exception.
Yeah.
So, have you considered giving up yet?
Respectfully, no.
Oh, in all
Yeah.
honesty, we did consider it, if that's what you're wanting
Does that
to
make
know.
you feel better?
But
You
doesn't mean
did?
we've landed on that option.
Disappointing. I thought you'd choose life. That's all right.
Oh, it's just,
Ah.
I'm very
We're weighing
slow,
our
Senka,
options.
and I need
Yeah.
time.
We also need to,
Uh,
defend the people of the city from the creatures you let pour in, so...
I could do that. Just takes a few words. I bet if you all fell down in line, they would too.
Hmm.
Not in
Well,
the habit of doing that.
we're pretty stubborn.
We do have some redeeming qualities, though.
For example, we're all very attractive.
Correct.
Ferris, you notice that Alika has a very tight grip on her sword, and she looks like she's about ready to smack this man.
Varys is going to reach out and hold her arm, kind of pull her towards her.
She gives Ferris a look like he deserves it.
If Ferris's look could say, yes, he does, but that's not a wise decision right now, it would.
Fantastic.
You know, they say like one look says it all. That's the look. It says all that.
Well,
You seem like a fun person.
Yeah, like
Perhaps just play along for a little while. We'll try our best. If we fail, then you win regardless.
Yeah.
But let's
I mean,
make
and
it
how much
interesting.
fun is it going to be ruling over a city with no inhabitants?
Yeah, doesn't
I'll
that
make
defeat
my
the
own
point?
inhabitants. I'll find new ones. I've done it before. Do it again. This one's little rebellion, which is a setback for now. He points at Alika.
Well, unless you have anything else, if you'll excuse us, we have some work to do.
Did have one other thing. What was it? Oh, right. And he's clapped his hands together and disappears in a cloud of deadly fog.
Cool.
Is this a spell, Nat?
That's my
Yeah, I was
favorite
about to
kind of
ask
fog.
that.
That's my favorite kind of fog. Love it.
It is a spell.
But... Oh, no buts. Okay.
Oh no.
Oh.
You wanna try to dispel this?
Yeah. Just no.
All right.
no.
What do you use?
No.
Just no.
Just though.
Yeah, no.
As you
No.
cast no, he looks at you and says, "Oh, edgy baby."
Oh.
As you cast no, he has these little red stones along his collar crown that just light up slightly. They're the same ones you saw in Arvis's cuffs last time. They block all counter magic play.
I assume that's not a spell.
No.
I have.
Oh, I can use no on them? Thanks, Nat.
So he's gone, and you all start choking on deadly fog, and we're all gonna get back to that after the break.
Sure, that makes sense.
Okay, I have an idea.
I
That won't work.
also have an
Oh.
idea.
Make the air. You can gust the bad fog away.
A better idea. That's a
Yeah.
way better idea.
That might have been it.
You will, but it might hurt you first a little bit.
It doesn't deal proper damage. It's just inconvenience if you're actually trying to
Oh.
do shit.
I meant the fog might hurt
Yeah.
you first.
Oh, the gap. That I gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, break time. Hydrate,
time.
everyone.
Thank you for
And-
being here,
Yep.
everyone.
Tuesday.
It's been a wonderful.
You know,
Except now.
let us know who you want to see for our next characters.
Exactly.
Yeah,
What
what?
should we
It's looking
play?
a little
roles should
dire.
we play next? Nope, Lena's
All
gonna
right,
live
take us
forever.
out.
And
All
we're
right.
back.
So you return, you dab, including Nunu. Thank you. I am powerful. I am the guy.
Just don't kill me, Nat, please.
My first dab in my life, and it was terrible.
Dance, monkey, dance. But the Baron had just left. Dab, monkey, dab.
I apologize
broke
for
them.
nothing.
That's been our session. Thank you for tuning in.
Roll credits.
I feel like this should
All
be
right,
a
so the
magician
Baron
movie.
had just left the group alone in the force field and disappeared in a cloud of death fog. I need everyone to roll a d20 as you
Cool.
breathe in
For
some
us.
of this murder fog.
Yeah, love this journey for us.
17
17
13?
50.
with the same person.
with the same. You,
17.
me, same.
Oh, is Robert also sharing
All right.
our brain cell today?
Sure,
As
I guess so.
everybody takes 20 damage subtracted by your roll. So 17, you take 3.
Attracted by the
Robert!
roll.
I didn't
3.
do this.
No, if you wouldn't have healed me.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Sam, you rolled a 13, so you take 7.
Yeah, okay.
So Alika
I
takes
hate that.
18, and Master Rowan takes 17, and they both just fall. And you see them start to you see their skin just ever so slightly start to tighten as it's the first part of them turning into dust. They don't want to do anything.
Faris
I'm
wants to
immediately
Alika ablation
jumping on Master
immediately.
Rowan.
Okay, so you two are doing other things.
That's romantic.
I have a feeling someone else, and you're still in this fog because you were in an enclosed force field. So, what's the elsewise of the game plan?
Faris begins dragging Alika out of the force field and then heals her. Like as she's healing her.
I should note terribly, things can get out of this force field, so can the
Yeah.
fog.
That's worth noting. Okay, so you're still in the fog.
Okay.
So you either have to run or you have to make it move.
We're not in a death snow globe.
Okay, so while those two are rushing to heal, Ro, do you have any move?
Yeah, I think Ro's just gonna sort of yell, alright, hang on like really, really good! And Ro's gonna just start waving their hands around, and I'm gonna cast Gale to try to disperse the fog, which sends creatures within it tumbling backwards, but it doesn't deal any, like, actual damage. And Ro's just gonna sort of try to, like, center it, like, around them, so it's like there's a sort of vortex, ideally sort of swirling the fog like up and out after everybody gets like
Right.
slingshotted out of it.
Epic wind. It's because of the usage and situation. I think we can just say like it's very dramatic and cool, stylish wind that disperses the fog.
Yeah, so it sends anything like not nailed down pretty much flinging out of it.
Yeah.
So you all look like, you know, the worst nightmare of like a carnival ride getting like shot out.
Oh, the gravitron.
Yeah.
So now Doctor was healing Master Rowan, and what was Ferris doing?
Faris was healing Alika.
Okay, reasonable.
She's like bent down on the ground, I guess, while this like wind is whipping up around them. She just like crouches really close and holds Alika's head in her arms and casts ablation.
This is a bloom of light out from your hands on the back of her head. And you see the lines soften. And she opens her eyes. She just brings her head forward and just forehead to forehead, just bonk.
Yeah, I think Faris just lets her head rest there for a moment.
Doctor is healing Master Rowan, because I know ablation's 6.
Yes, the doctor just places their hand on the chest and light just.
Right. Death fog, not to be messed with. Rowan wakes up, stands up. What a bastard.
Is everybody okay? Rose hair is like sticking up in like weird places, but they look super freaked out because the last time they saw, the Baron dust an entire like unit of Solari, it was pretty scary.
Oh.
And almost Everett. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Everyone okay?
Good over here.
okay.
Does anyone need healing?
Okay. Or
Desperate.
I'll be okay. And Rose gonna mend themselves so you can save some AP, Doctor.
I mean,
Yeah. It
Lena
just took
and
away
Zip
my shield,
super-
so I'll
we didn't
recast
take
my
her a
shield.
2-for-1 deal, but
Yeah.
I'm only down 3.
I'm down 5. Right, we can wait. If
I
you
can
want.
Yeah,
mend
we're
you,
okay.
which is gonna heal you both to full.
5.
Oh, yeah, then do that.
Yeah.
Do you want my AP? How many AP
Mend
is
doesn't
it?
allow that, so I would just
Oh,
spend the 1 AP.
oh. I'll owe you 1.
Group,
Right, Trish.
group heals up.
Now what?
We have to assume that this might happen again and
Yeah.
quite frequently, so we might need to move fast. The Lyceum is right there. I know you got that message, but if they're barricaded, maybe we should head there first.
And then the doctor can gate us right back home as soon as we're
Exactly.
done.
Sure.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Master Rowan
Also-
is going to put her hands together and go, I think it might be important that I and maybe some others keep a little bit of distance from you. You seem to have attracted his ire, and frankly, you're kind of dangerous to be around at this point.
I agree.
You're not wrong.
And then she turns her head and looks at Alika.
Yeah, I think when she says that, Faris looks at Alika as well.
Yeah. Take care of Alika, and also Alika, you take care of Master Rowan. You would both work together well.
I'm not going.
Are you just going to be a little way?
If we survive this entire bullshit, we're gonna need you to be alive, Alika.
Would you rather have Ferris watch you go through that again?
The city needs you safe.
Fine. She just looks at Ferris. Concern and worry.
Yep, Faris is doing the same back at her. No, he has it out for you and he has it out for all of us, so maybe his focus will be shifted more to us and he will leave you alone.
Alright, I'll work with Rowan here and we'll start to... I'm sure tons of people are wounded and hurt. We'll try to coordinate to minimize the casualties. In case we don't meet back up, I love you too.
She kisses her.
Of course you do.
You love each other.
We really should be going before he arrives again.
Yeah. Stay safe, please.
If you see any of those creatures, just stay still and calm. It's the best mechanism of defense.
They both nod. As they're on their way out, Master Rowan just puts a hand on the doctor's shoulder, a little high, and goes, "Stay safe. Remember your training."
You stay safe too. Yeah. We'll be good.
So, to the Lyceum housing where the historian resides?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. When you arrive there, inside the building, you see Hawk Frost banging on the door like, open up, you bastard. Now is not the time for this.
Do you want me to knock the door down?
I could just unlock
Oh, heroes. Delightful. His backs up and's like, at it.
it. I'm just gonna unlock it because I can lockpick. think a lock can keep me
Sure.
out on the other side of a door? Well, I'll knock
Do you have like
first
the
and see
skeleton
if he...
key?
First I'll knock. Be like, he's gone, but now we're here and we'd really love to chat if you're available. And just to let you know, we are going to come in anyway, even if you don't want us to. Sorry.
I can burn down the door.
He doesn't like
I don't know who that
people.
is, but he sounds horrible. Okay,
Great
I'll unlock it, but Hawk has to stay out there. I don't want to talk to him today.
All right, deal. And I'm going to turn to Hawkfrost and be like,
The city is in danger, you absolute buffoon.
we're going to take care of it. It's okay. Just when you yell really loud, the monsters come. So maybe just you're here.
Reaches in his coat and grabs a small like pocket rack of 4 potions and just pushes them into your chest. You want those?
Thank you.
Do the bird ones again.
They
No, these
heal
are the
you.
happy potions.
She's joking.
But
Oh, is
that's
it
right.
not? Is
Ferris only tells jokes at the most inappropriate times.
Worse.
She doesn't know how to tell jokes.
Are these are
the
they
famous
healing potions
nervously
or are they,
Joker?
or are they the
Uh.
like the mutagen that the historian likes to make him happy?
Oh,
That's what I
they
assumed.
were healing
they were.
potions. But
Oh.
if you mention the mutagen, he just stopped and go,
Like-
right. Those were for you, and I guess now these are also for you, and takes out a 2 case of 2 mutagens.
Thank you. You're much
No,
appreciated.
wait, what if we got the Baron to drink one of those? That could where he becomes something. Oh, he's a skeleton.
Yeah,
God
just-
damn, he doesn't have a circulatory system. Ah!
I don't know,
He
just
just runs
let-
off.
Let your wheels spin on that for a little bit. I'm just gonna like go back to the door. I'm gonna
We'll
hand the
workshop
potion.
it.
I'm just gonna like turn around
Doesn't
and hand the
have a
potions to the
circulatory system.
doctor and be like, hold these.
Okay.
And I'm gonna hold the double pack of mutagens.
The 6-pack.
Just a 2.
It's a 40. It's just
Yeah.
a 40.
He's gonna double fist him.
Yeah. Tall boys.
You hear the locks unlock one at a time.
Oh, am I opening the
Then
door? He's not
silence.
gonna open the door.
No, of course not.
I'm gonna push the door open and like poke my head in, and then just like jiggle the mutagens. Like,
Inside, this place is kind of gone to shit since you last were in there. Things have fallen to the ground. There's stains on the carpeting.
the city did fall.
Yeah, the one chair that he sits in all the time seems to have kind of buckled on one side, and he's sitting in it. Doesn't look like he's showered since you last seen him, or maybe moved.
Putting cobwebs.
I have these for you. Do you want me to fix your chair?
There's no time.
I mean, there's
Never
time.
any
We have to
fucking
talk.
time.
I can, if you get up, I can fix it while we talk.
We need to talk about how we can fix this situation with the city.
Blinks a little bit.
Sword of Valerith. Ring any bells?
Yeah. Come on, how many of you are there? Get in here.
5.
5.
Hello again.
Oh, that's so many. Never had this many guests.
Hello.
I'm sorry.
Okay, rule, only 2 of you allowed to talk at a time, ever, okay?
Oh.
I guess. Same time?
All right. Can you feel it?
Feel what?
This place. It's going to leave. I'm going to leave. It's long. I'm going to leave. What a shit
Like-
show.
Like, leave, like, cease to be leave? Or leave, like, here and go back to
Ferris
where
and
there's a sun?
Ro. Ferris and Ro and Zake in particular, I think, can feel this kind of. This is a little bit. There's like a roiling amount of magic in this room.
Okay. Can I sense
And
magic?
he
and
got-
see what it is?
You can, but he's about to explain it, so save your
Okay.
AP.
He's usually pretty vague, so.
Yeah. Part of my immortal magic means I always have a place to sit and observe the world pass. It doesn't think this one's going to exist much longer. So I'll be going elsewhere.
Do you know how much time you have?
This.
Oh, this thing's about. I don't know.
Wait, what do you mean? This world? What's going to
This place.
exist?
This building?
Oh, well, yeah, that makes
Shit.
sense.
Probably because of the entire city. He was about to go up in smoke. Can't very well watch the world turn from a seat in a decrepit corner of a crypt in the plane of shadows.
Right, well, we want to fix that. So, can you help us?
No, of course not. I'm useless. Always have been.
That's not what Lena says.
I thought you knew lots of stuff.
Can
I
you
know
drink
lots
one
of
of
stuff.
these?
I can't do anything.
Okay, but you can give us information, and then we can do things, because that's what we do. So
Yeah,
we need to
we're
find the
good.
Sword of Valerith.
So
Can you
drink
help
one
us?
of these and tell us where it is.
Sort of-
Just like.
Do you know why the Baron has come back into power? If we give you that information, is that going to help? He has a soul tether to this one. We need to sever the soul tether so that we can kill the Baron.
So we need the Sword of Valerith, which can cut through anything.
Yeah.
He takes the mutagen and starts to uncork it. It's like, it only got the name Sword of Valerith in the last couple hundred years.
For that.
Before that, it was the Sword of Souls. It is edged by the most indomitable and strong power in our world. Downs it, drops the glass on the ground, on the carpet. Ugh. The bonds of a faithful soul.
What's
So
that
it's
mean?
real. It exists. It's real.
Yeah, it's real. Most famous mystic old things are real. The world's more interesting that way. Would we just make a bunch of fake things?
I don't know. I'm not immortal.
Anyway, to make the sword work, ooh, I'm feeling. So you taste that? It's also tingly in the air. It's
Are you
electric.
going to let me fix your chair now?
Oh, sure. And he gets up and
Rose like got their
like-
tongue out.
Feel like
Yeah.
Figure out what
the rest
he
of y'all
means.
keep talking. I'm gonna fix this
So,
Focus.
Continue.
chair. He's less cranky.
to get the sword to cut, it has to be edged by souls. To gird the sword to prepare it for battle, you need to have 3 people give up their corporeal form to help inhabit the sword with power. They can come back afterwards. They can come back afterwards, but the sword has to have 3 people who are,
how
it's just like
soon
some
afterwards?
as soon as you're done cutting, presumably.
Okay.
Ooh. Right done.
And
Are there,
all 3, and they all need to be committed to whatever is being done. If there's any disagreement among the souls as the action is being taken, the sword will just shatter, and that's what happened to it last time. It's currently in a few pieces.
how many is a
Do
few?
you know
We don't have time to reforge a sword, do we?
where
Well,
are the
the
pieces?
thing is,
I mean, I can.
it shattered on Valerith like 37 years ago. So the pieces are all here. You just gotta. I think the Lyceum has a chunk of them. The college has a few.
So we have to go
I mean,
and do
I
a
can-
fetch quest and gather them all?
I mean, I
You
can
know how many
fix a
different places
sword,
there are?
but
Fucking
there's a matter of.
Fetch quest.
Never mind.
Wait, so can we put it back together in a normal way? Like, can Lena put it back together?
Does it need a spell or something?
Or does it need something special?
The spell, it's kind of like it's like kind of like a person. It's a vessel for a soul. A body.
Mhm.
It's kind of similar. Magic views it kind of similar. You actually have to use the spell Sacrifice to bring it back.
Well, magic blows.
So what you're saying is we can't do it then.
I might.
Somebody has to die to
Be
fix
able to
it,
do
is
it.
what you're saying.
That's not what
No, you
sacrifice does.
That's not what that spell does. It's just called that.
I've never used it or been trained to use it, but it is a Solari spell.
Do you think you know how to do it?
I can try.
Is it going to do something bad to you if you do?
I don't know.
I don't like that. At all.
It is our plan A. We can
Mhm.
switch the letters.
And what about the souls that we need to edge it? Because there's also that.
You got any friends?
Not
Can't
a lot.
ask other.
Well, there's
Well,
always us.
There's
I'll do it.
5 of
There's five. Well, there's five of us.
of us.
So one is obviously Row. So like they can't
And
do
one
it.
has to
somebody
wield the
swing the
sword.
sword. So then the other three of us.
one
So we're
Severer,
gonna need
one
one more.
Severie, and 3 souls.
Everyone will be okay, right?
I mean,
Well,
theoretically,
only the
according
person-
to this.
Only the person wielding the sword can let the souls out. So if you, let's say you all bundle together and give, and he points to Lena. He's like, "What's your name?"
Lena.
And everyone gives Lena the sword, and then Lena gets killed by the Baron, and he gets the sword. You're very fucked.
Right.
So we need someone strong like Ferris.
I mean, presumably we don't
No offense,
have
Lena.
to.
None taken.
Presumably we don't have to do this in the presence of the Baron. If the effect is immediate, we set up somewhere safe-ish, comparatively.
But in
Take care of
theory,
it
we
all.
would want to kill the Baron pretty quickly after severing the tie.
Yes, and then we would immediately go and do that.
Right.
Because we would need all of us back together in order to take him down anyway.
Right.
To be a swift job of cutting the connection and releasing the soul in one swift swing.
Mm-hmm.
Lena, you have another one?
Yeah. No, I'll toss it to him. Your chair's fixed, by the way.
I'm gonna do the best. Chucks it
That's
and
what
he
they
just pops
tell
on
me.
down.
So you said the Lyceum has pieces in the college?
Talk to Hawkfrost.
Is it just the college and the Lyceum, or other places as well?
I mean, they were pretty studied objects, so unless someone stole them,
Great.
Hope not.
Right. Well, we know what we need to do then.
Yeah.
Looks like it.
Thank you.
yeah, well, bye. Probably forever.
Goodbye,
May the
probably
lightning
forever.
guide your path.
Sure.
Hopefully we can figure this out quickly and you won't have to disappear.
Flops down in his chair. I'll always be somewhere. That's the job.
Oh, and by the way, last time we met, you sent me to the Sunkeeper. Turns out, he's not a very nice person. Just thought you should
Oh.
know.
She's very, very mean, but she is the one who would know what you need to know.
Well, thanks for nothing, I guess. But this hopefully turns out better, huh? With the sword. Let's see.
Is he angry at me? I think he's angry at me.
I'm just gonna be like,
Well, the Sunkeeper did turn out to be behind a large web of conspiracy. So,
Okay, well, sorry I mentioned it. Wasn't supposed to, but I just couldn't keep it in. We should definitely go.
yes. It was good to meet you. Hopefully we'll see you again.
Yeah.
You see him kind of going like, Nothing's happening.
Slowly back away.
Homer Simpson into the hedge.
Okay, bye.
Just before we like completely leave, the doctor's just gonna turn back and just go, just quick question. Do you know of any other immortals that might be in the city that would be helpful? Or are you the only one? You were helpful.
Shit, immortals.
None of them are ever helpful.
All right, thank you. You were fantastic.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Take it
I
sleazy.
mean, I guess when you've been friends with people for eternity, you probably would start to hate them, wouldn't you? She says as she walks out the door.
Out, just for the
Oh, and as she walks, it goes, oh, by the way, don't fuck up, Dawn.
Oh, thanks. I'll try.
I thought your name was Ferris.
Dawn's her middle name.
Because Ro missed all that shit.
Shit, yeah,
That's
right.
Oh yeah.
Ro was busy being kidnapped by the Baron. While
Lord.
Ferris is off getting a promotion.
Well,
All right. So you run after to go to find Hawkfrost, and his study is empty, and he has an attendant who's running around, all about. Basically, the entire Lyceum's a bit of a mess, but there's someone going through his desk.
Hey,
Excuse.
where did Hawkfrost go?
Hi.
where's Hawkfrost?
I went to go. You going to go shout at Madlamar?
Yeah, it seems about right. What are you doing?
Told me to find something.
What?
It's like an old sword hilt.
Oh, we need that.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
need that, please.
Yeah.
It's for us.
Okay, well, it's in his office somewhere. You want to help out?
Sure.
Okay.
Searching montage.
Pew, 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 pew. Tearing open files and stuff. You find it. It's just the bottom of his desk, collecting dust.
What an asshole.
About halfway through, though, this attendant ledges over to the doctor and goes, "Hi, I'm Gear. Big fan of your work."
Madden, I don't.
Well, you fighting disease, saving the city, and looking impeccable doing it. Come on, everyone wants to be you.
Thank you.
Anyway, I don't want to make it all weird. I just wanted to say that. Now,
Well, it was nice to meet you, Gia.
he goes back to searching. So, in my head, it's like Zake who eventually finds the sword hilt.
Found it.
Just
Right.
I'm just gonna
Dusty.
reach my hand out to put it in my blink pack.
So the hilt has 3 chambers along the handle and then wings, which are kind of similar to the symbol of Valerith, but a little different. And then a pointed pommel with a ruby at the bottom.
Are there any other pieces of this sword in this office / in the Lyceum? Do you know?
No. Apparently, Madlamar has had the sword blade for like a really long time, and they fight about it.
Okay, cool.
Well, now we're gonna go fight about it.
Well, they could never as you're running out. It's like never argue about who gets the credit for.
Yeah, it doesn't
they're
matter.
gone.
Okay,
They're
bye.
gone.
It's fine, we're gonna get the credit now.
Yeah, we're gonna save everyone.
Camera lingers on Gear for a
Actually, we
moment.
shouldn't
Like,
be running out anyway.
Yeah,
Doctor,
we
get
were
us
gonna
home.
teleport.
Oh, right, because that is technically quicker. Just
yeah. As he steps out the door to follow you a little bit, you warp out, and he's standing there like, Oh my god. Big day.
This was definitely the biggest part of the day.
Yes.
For sure.
It's like, oh, at least before I died, I met my hero.
Yeah. All right. You appear in Starfall Spire in the living room. And the sight that you see is a bloody battle in progress. An entire section of your wall has been thrashed open. The kitchen is just open air at this point. There's a number of these stalkers. There's also a few of these odd, bulgy, floating orbs. They're delightful. They're just delightful. As you appear, Camille waves a hand and invokes some flame of light to vaporize one of these things. Naima is big with sword, just swinging through another one. Neural has a scythe that they've summoned and is going to squaring off against two of them. And then Batinga is on the staircase, screaming and throwing scones at some of these things. Ah! Ah!
How much damage do those scones do, Nat?
Nothing.
Not
They
even
do
like a
nothing.
rolling pin
Not
or a
even
frying
poison
pan or
damage?
something.
You ran out of real projectile weaponry long before you arrived.
Remember that time he, I don't know, hit Lena with a cleaver? Like, he doesn't even have a cleaver?
Well,
Doesn't have the
moment
darkness in him.
we see this,
He doesn't have
Tinga would never hurt a fly.
the real Batinga.
But
Ro, you go first because you have master senses.
Oh my goodness. There's a bunch of these things here now?
There is a number.
the number is...
So there's 5 here, but there are more coming in through the giant missing wall.
Okay, then Rose just gonna be like, hey, get out of my house! And I'm gonna use my action to storm call. So I think like maybe some weird clouds, because we're like not in a normal natural place, would like start forming sort of outside the big gap, like centered like over the tower.
The clouds have these ghastly purple veins that run through them. Veiny clouds, delightful.
Gross. Yeah. Thanks. I hate it. So that's all Ro can do for now. But that'll let me do all my crazy shit next turn. So I think you just sort of see some like lightning, like green Ro magic lightning, like arcing through the creepy clouds.
Yeah.
And like
from
around
above,
them, like they're charging up.
From somewhere up the stairs, you hear Everett's voice call out, "Rose here!" And then a gunshot go off.
Just picturing him like Yosemite Samming about like Rose here.
Like I've seen this TV show before.
You also hear a growl and a bark from Tiny upstairs.
Okay, Tiny's alright. That's all that matters.
Tiny's. I'm not gonna off-screen murder the. I'm not gonna. I don't have to say that part. I'm not gonna murder the dog. I stole the dog once.
For a reason.
I stole the dog once. That's different.
Also
Anyway, who out
poisoned
of,
her.
yeah. Who out of my siblings and Neural looks like they're the most in danger right now? If anyone.
Naima is the most wounded.
Okay, then Faris is just gonna leap in, spear blazing, and attack the one that's attacking Naima.
Give me a roll.
14. So it does 3 damage.
Yeah, you hit 3 damage. That kills that one.
And it explodes
these
in a
things
burst
are
of flame and light.
Yeah, these things are ambush predators. Low HP, lots of damage.
Can I shoot one with a gun, please?
Absolutely. Give me a roll.
I want to make sure I look cooler than Everett looked when he shot his gun, because I know what I'm doing.
Everett was off screen, so he didn't look cool at all.
Okay, good.
But Lena knows.
You know, it looks cool. No, she doesn't. I rolled a 2.
Okay.
She doesn't look cool
So
at
in these
all.
things, when you
I'm about to
roll a
get
failure
ed.
against these things, they pounce and try to stab you. Does Zeke want to intercept?
Yeah, go on.
Turd.
It rolls a natural 1, so you get to attack it back.
Hey,
Nice.
counterattack. There we go. That's a 19.
All right, so Lena tries to shoot it. It dives, and it kind of that wave of fear that they exude strikes up as Lena makes a miss. But as it's about to strike Lena, Zeke just dives in and skewers it in the side.
That's my wife.
You're welcome.
I was gonna say thank you.
Oh, I know. That's why I said. Okay, already halfway running to the next one. Hey, looks like I was able to finally use counterattack. More season.
Only season 4.
Yep.
Delightful.
While I'm at
Doctor.
it-
Oh, and yeah, Zeke, right? That wasn't your
While I'm
turn.
at it,
Right, go ahead.
I was probably fighting with one, like blocking their attacks, and just sidestep to murder the one attacking Lena, and then go back to mine and take that sidestep to do the same thing to it. Just let's do normal attack for now, because these things seem to be dying off easily. But that's a 5, so maybe no.
I'm gonna try to stab you back, Lena. You want to intercept?
Obviously.
What is the point of this ability?
There is
It
no
fails,
point.
attack it again. It fails, counterattack it.
I have counterattack too.
What is this? What is
Everybody has
this?
counterattack. Everybody has intercept.
Stupid.
Yeah. Well, at
Can I
least
have
the
counterattack?
the fighters all do. And that's a 13.
So that's a full
counterattack?
hit. So that's 2 damage.
Yes.
All right, so it's wounded.
I am welcome.
I believe it's my turn
Wink.
now.
Megan
Yes,
can't
doctor.
wink, but Lena can.
So for the flavor of it, because it's fun this way.
Stop
The
stealing
doctor
Ferris's light.
puts their hand out towards Ferris and goes, "Ferris, take care of this." As the force field comes sliding out of the doctor's gauntlet and then splits up into a bunch of parts and then like a mecha anime onto Ferris's body. It's like this awesome mecha just light suit on Ferris. And then the
I love
doctor
you,
heals
Robert.
himself.
Is Ferris a transformer now?
Yes.
What does that do exactly?
You have 20 more hit points against physical damage.
Other than make Izza very happy.
Damn.
I'm
But
a
yes,
sun
and
mech.
then I heal
That's
myself.
it doesn't take an action to move the force field.
No, it's telekinetically that can be just done during my turn. As long as I already
Nice.
have it out.
Delightful.
Yep.
OP, please.
And then I heal myself. So Nat, just make sure to put Naima's health back to full. Thanks, okay, bye.
Nice.
Nice.
Naima. Just heals. You know, we're all out here telling stories. We're all out here telling stories, having a good time, and Robert's over here playing the game.
Robert's playing
the
5-dimensional chess.
Yeah, Lena and Zeke just being complete idiots, intercepting each other.
Yep.
We're all playing checkers. Robert's playing chess. It's okay.
And it's 3D chess.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Vulcan
Robert-
chess.
I'm fucking playing Connect 4 over here. I don't know what you're all doing.
Lena and Zeke are playing Twister. Like they have no clue
All right.
what's going
Yeah, they
on.
are.
I want to note, if Tiny had been down on our floor, that would have gone on Tiny. He would have had nothing.
Yeah.
Dog
That would have
mech.
been adorable. All right, so the opposition gets a turn. Remember these horrifying balls of muscly balls with eyes?
Don't say those words together.
Don't say that.
Don't.
Horrifying,
This is them, and they-
muscly balls.
They start to sprout sinewy eye stalks as they're going to invoke some powerful magic.
Nah, no.
Nat,
Yeah.
no.
Is this what I think it is.
No, it
No,
was-
Nat, no.
I was just being a shitlord at 2 a.m. You can't do this.
You reap what you sow.
No, I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. I'm saying no, Nat. No.
Not a spell.
Ah, you just said
Dog.
you said the word spell. You lied to me.
I said powerful, invoke powerful magic.
Oh.
That's not spell. They shoot out their rays that strike Naima and Camille and Neural, and all their muscles start to seize up as they can't move.
I believe you've done this.
James.
This is James.
James.
For anyone who doesn't know, Nat made a comment about being able to summon a beholder and making it really swole, and I went, beswolder. And
Beswolder.
that is what I sowed and what we are currently reaping right now.
And then James made it a monster.
Yeah.
It was already
Yeah,
a monster.
James wrote a stat
put it
block
on.
for it.
James put it on paper.
James made a quest monster for it, so obviously I had to use it.
He made it a reality.
Fucking James.
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 Fuck's sake.
He knew that he could, but never stopped to think.
Think if you should.
James giveth,
Friend of the
and then
show.
James giveth way too
All right.
much.
So, Unblast goes after Ferris. And as you are blasted by this energy, you feel your muscles all weaken and almost after a moment.
Goes through the
So
force
you're going to
field.
have a -2. It's magic, baby. So you're going to have a -2 on your next attack, and it gets a +1 to its damage permanently.
James, I'm gonna kill
James.
you.
James.
Somebody clip that, please. Unflinching eye contact. We're coming for you, James.
Protein City
the other
podcast
three are
will be
gonna-
no more.
The other 3 are going to attack random people, but I had to go up is a little bit. Holy shit, though. Those are all ones, so the rest of them are all going after Ferris as well.
Oh!
Oh, can I counter all of them?
Can I intercept any of them? Oh, I can't. Oh,
No.
I-
You
no, I
cannot.
don't have intercept. I can only intercept. No, I think I just have.
Ferris is
Oh,
the
you
only
mean
one.
one
who
as
can
in
intercept.
like that's what decided it would target me, not the attack. That's not the attack.
No, that's
roll.
what
No.
it
Oh.
decided to target you. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I can't intercept because I don't just have it because of bond. I just have it.
Oh,
So
you
I want to
have-
intercept
Alright.
like at how many are going at Ferris?
3.
I will intercept 2 of them. Can I do that?
Babe.
Okay.
Can I intercept
You
one
take,
of those going at Lena now?
Oh,
It's one each
Oh my
then.
god, you
What
guys!
I just
Okay,
want
I
to be a
think we
hero.
decided no cascading intercepts at one point. I'm going to stick to that ruling.
Skating
I
into
can be your hero, baby.
Baby! So you get struck by 2 eye rays for 6 damage, and then Ferris gets struck by 1 for another 6 damage because it was a crit.
Oof.
Right, so how many?
Little-
Sorry, how many damages do I take?
6.
Yeah, that's fine. I still have 2 spares.
All right.
Hey, Ferris, you're a Gundam.
Yeah, those. By the way, that magic damage goes through the force field.
Yeah,
Entirely
yeah,
against.
Obviously.
yeah.
The 2 remaining stalkers are going to actually converge on the now locked up and unable to move Camille. And they're gonna both pierce into his little flesh for a total of 6 damage.
Intercept. The force field will take it.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, okay. So you want to insert both of them?
Yep.
Okay. So you just dash over and take both these hits on your Gundam force field armor.
Mm-hmm.
It was 6 damage, right?
Yes. All right. That is the at that point 1 more stalker appears at the entrance, but that is the opposition turn. All your friends were hit by the Eye of Flexing, so they were not able to move. So
How many
Go ahead.
things? How many things are in here with us now?
there were 3 stalkers and 3 beswolders.
Rose.
Said it with your mouth out loud in a
Yeah.
space
How
where I
dare
had to
you.
hear it with my ears.
It
You're
was
welcome.
hilarious.
You can blame Misa for this.
I would say I'm sorry, but I still think Baswalder is hilarious.
Oh,
so-
it is.
Wonderful.
It absolutely
No, that
is.
is hilarious.
Oh,
No. It is.
Will you still think it's hilarious when and if they kill Ferris's brother?
But they won't
Muscly
because
eyeballs.
Mecha Ferris is here to protect you.
Mecha Ferris.
All right, so there's 6 things in here. Rose gonna, I think, see one of them clawing into Camille and just be like, "I said go away!" And I'm gonna chain lightning everything for 4 HP each.
Nice.
So, like, an arc of lightning shoots through the open wall, hits Ro, and they, like, redirect it into the Beswolder that hit Camille, and it, like, ricochets.
Okay, so which is that every enemy?
Yeah, I'm targeting all 6
Oh.
of them. They each take 4
All right,
hit
so-
points.
The 3 stalkers just electrify, keel over, and die. The Beswolders all take 4, which they're still up because they have 10 HP.
Yeah.
Because they're swole.
I was next,
They're
right?
swole.
Y'all can go in whatever order you want. So first, you want to go murder something? Go right ahead.
Oh yeah, Ferris is gonna last light one of the Baswalders.
All right, describe to me as you last light this floating sinewy eyeball.
So she has dived in front of Camille, taken the hits for him, and then kind of like spins around and I think draws some light directly from the force field together with her own magic and just shoots a beam of light straight through it.
And then these ones don't dissolve; they just fall to the ground.
Stay the fuck away from my brother.
All right.
Isaac sees these ones floating about, just kind of words for English fails me. Kind of puts his sword to the side of his body. With the other hand, goes back into the back of his armor and brings out one of the war fans, and as he throws them last minute, clutches to one of the little studs, and it opens and starts spinning in midair and trying to get one of the floaty ones with it.
How are
Is it
you
wild
so
attack?
cool?
I don't know. It's a 13.
Is that a wild attack?
It is a wild attack. Every time I describe a silly thing, it's a wild attack now.
I know.
I know.
That was me.
Double-
That was me saying, "Nunu, you tell me what the result is."
It's double damage, so 4 damage.
All right. It is heavily wounded as your fan slices into its sinewy, because it's not entirely eyeball. It's like eye and then mostly ball, and so it slashes into the sinewy, muscly ball.
Sinewy,
You're welcome.
muscly ball.
We doing phrasing?
Nat!
Who's next?
No one's next.
Who's next?
Sure.
We all died.
I think the doctor hasn't acted.
Yeah. So the doctor reaches a hand out and goes, "Ferris, unleash your light." And around the force field, around Ferris's hand, more light begins to pillow out, and then you watch it surround the force field, and then pull back for just a second, and then forward like a fist and punches one of them. I spend 3 AP to telekinesis it for 6 damage.
And that one falls, launched clear out of the tower.
Yeet.
There's only one remaining. It has 2 HP. But it is its turn.
Wait, has Lena gone?
Is Lena gone?
Yeah. I don't
Oh,
know.
never mind. Lena, kill it. It has 2 HP. Murder it.
Oh, yeah, I'll stab it. Because I can't reload my gun.
It is floating in the air, so it's probably a throw, all things
Oh,
considered.
Yeah, I'll like pull a knife like out of my boot and just ting.
That word was
'Cause
going
I'm very
in a different
cool.
direction.
I'm very cool.
Boot.
That's a very cool 14.
And it strikes it right below the eye,
In the
and you
ball.
just hear the words ringing through your mind. Do you have tickets to the gun show?
Oh my god.
It flexes to death.
Do you know where I can find a vet? Because these puppies are sick. All of this is
All right.
bad. We should be canceled.
We still have 40 minutes of game. I don't know how we're gonna go from here, honestly. I think it's done.
That's it. We're done.
That's it.
I'd like to point out that I'm just running the monster as written. Come on.
We know! That's the problem!
This encounter brought to you by James.
I still think Sandy was
I'm
funny.
Usually I love cursed content. Like, I'm very pro cursed content. This might be too cursed.
We gotta draw a line somewhere.
Right, no more beswolders, I promise. So I had to
I don't believe you.
I had to bring them in this session before, next time we're gonna have some guests.
Oh gosh.
What, you
That
didn't
aren't
want to
Beswolders?
save this one for that occasion?
No, I didn't.
Because we are professionals. And we need to create an open and welcoming environment to our
Question.
guests.
Yes.
As the
Fair.
Beswolders die, do all the people who were affected by the demuscling ray go back to normal?
Yeah, it also only lasts one round anyway, so they're good.
Okay,
There we go.
cool. I feel swole again.
Hey Nat, can we just
Yes,
You were
season
always swole
5?
tonight.
James, most of those beams need to be better.
No, James, they don't.
Listen, Nat, just idea. For season 5, Arvis cuts off both of his arms and replaces them with beswolders.
We're going to play the game now. So, Tiny and Everett, actually, Everett riding Tiny, bound down the stairs. Gun waving. Just, hi. We good?
Yeah.
I saw that there's more coming, but we should be clear for a minute.
I'm gonna reload
I was
my
playing
gun.
scout and lookout. You'd be proud of me.
You did a
That's a
great
good idea.
job.
He starts loading his gun too.
I'm
We
gonna
need to
walk.
go somewhere to. Oh, sorry.
I was
No,
just gonna
Robert,
say
go
I'm
ahead.
gonna walk to the broken part of the wall and just look out to see if I can see any coming.
Yeah, there's a few kind of stalking along the base of the tower. By a few, I mean like two.
We need to go to the college. We're trying to find something that can help fix this. If you're not going to be safe here, then we need to get you somewhere else. All of you.
Neural
would be-
starts to say something with him, but Ting goes, but what about me? I am very, well, cat's belly. This isn't my, cup of tea.
Yeah, I mean you as
No,
well.
everybody will get somewhere safe.
Yeah, we will protect you. And I de-Gundam Ferris and Gundam up, Gundam up
Batinga?
Mr. Batinga.
Becca Baker.
Mecha Baker.
You know, at some point we're going to have a conversation about you using my own magic for yours, but it's not the most important thing right now. I'm just curious, that's all. But
Stop
anyway,
stealing Ferris's IP.
we're going to the college. Maybe you should all come with us and you can hole up there. Because there's more people there.
Yeah.
And we can all protect one another.
Neural lighting up another smoke. Sounds great.
And thank you for keeping them safe, Neural.
Oh, it's a good thing you showed up when you did.
She just walks over and hugs Camille.
I need save me.
She just ruffles his head. It's like, I didn't know you could cast fire magic. That's new. Good job.
I do a lot of cool things. If we want to get to the college swiftly, we should be leaving right about now.
Yes.
Good plan.
Or now.
Let's go.
Or
We're going, Camille.
No.
She starts dragging him.
Naima stays big and just walks alongside Ferris and just takes her big extra grown arm and just squeezes Ferris kind of from the side, a little quick little sibling side hug.
Yeah, leans in quickly. But no, she doesn't like physical contact, so she'll move away.
Yeah. No words, just a little like, glad you showed the fuck up.
Saved your life, bitch. Be grateful now.
You head on down. On your way through, Batinga grabs the last of his remaining scones for rations.
Good idea.
Sorry about
And
this.
no, you don't have to pay me. It turns to Lena. No, you do not have to pay me.
Mm-hmm. Don't worry.
Reverse.
Now you
pockets
walk out in front of me. Walk out in front of me. I want to see you leave the bakery.
Mm-hmm.
You should pay him, Lena, because I'm about to. And then the doctor grabs a chair and kicks a leg off, and then kicks another leg off, until he has 4 legs, and then hands each person in the party one. Like, I don't know if these are like normal creatures, but and lights them all as torches, just in case these things are afraid of fire.
Like, you got any opinions on that?
I would try and keep our presence to a minimum, Doctor. Sorry. Any sensory effects?
That was
I
a
can
really
light some more
nice
in case
chair.
we need it.
I know, right?
Just,
If,
I will pay you here. Just put it on.
Lena can fix it later.
Oh, that's
if Lena has been made to leave the bakery to ensure she does not forcefully pay, I want to take the earring out.
Yeah.
And put it on.
Put it on. And you just hear a little Arvis voice, a little pre-recorded voice.
It's a voicemail.
Yeah. If you grasp the stud between 2 fingers, I can hear you wherever you are.
I'm just gonna do that and be like, neat trick.
Important trick. And the rest of the party cavalcade out of the bakery and start heading to the public college. With a little bit of help from Camille, you get there without incident. However, one thing before that part, as you're leaving, you see the Baron floating above the tower.
Well,
That's it.
what's he doing? Does he look like a fuck?
Is he watching us?
Did the magic strike the Baron?
Looking down at the, you can imagine if you want. He's looking down at the tower, and then up at the sky, and then down at the tower, and kind of doing like an angle thing.
Cool. We're not gonna have a home after this.
He's above Crown Tower, though, right? You said
No, Starfall Spire.
Starfall. Oh, okay.
But
Yeah. the stars
our
fall
home's
on our
getting blown
spire?
up.
But then you make your way to the college without incident and get down to the main campus. There are, along the way, there are bodies in the street, torn apart. People have died.
We need to find this fucking sword.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work,
It will.
Work.
Make it work.
Doctor's just gonna put an arm around Ro and place their hand. It'll work. Or really good, you know.
As you roll up on the main campus, small walls have been erected between some of the buildings, and you see students manning these makeshift, magically crafted palisades. There is a lot of that dissolved shadow that the creatures die and turn into. As you approach,
have they
you
constructed... Oh, sorry.
As you approach, you see a young man with a bow wave.
Is he the one who shot me?
Is he the one who shot Lena?
He is the one who shot. He is the one who shot Lena.
Ah,
He's a good shot.
my very helpful assistant.
Just gonna like nudge Zake and be like, "That guy shot me."
Oh. Yeah, no, I knew that. I just didn't know it was that guy.
Yeah, it was that guy. Good shot.
Well, let's hope he doesn't fucking die.
As you're he waves you forward, and there's a little twiddling of magic in the air, and one portion of the wall just separates, and you see Mad Lamar standing there, twirling his wand to separate the wall so you can get through. As you're running the last little bit, the guy on top of the wall knocks an arrow, shoots, and one of the beasts jump out, and he just strikes in it, falls to the ground, and rumbles across.
Good shot.
Shot.
As you get through, Mad Lamar closes the wall back up.
Yes.
It's Mad
hello.
Lamar. Hi.
Do you have
Hey.
a sword?
The sword of Valerith, specifically.
Oh, the sword of Valerith. Sorry.
Not just any sword.
Oh, I have half a sword of Valerith.
We have the other half.
We have-
So can we have your half, please?
Why do you need it?
To stop
Save
the
us all.
Okay. Frankly, you're the vanguard of the city, and you all have saved us plenty of times. And remember that criminal in the quad? You know, Ferris,
Oh,
you did
yeah.
really good at that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
So,
thanks. Put that,
I'm in-
put that dirty criminal away for life.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm inclined to
very
trust
proud.
all, and Zake agreed to, talk to our kids. I'm inclined to distrust you all. So I'll, follow me. And he trundles along,
would
up to his office. He does trundle. He's small, short, and delightfully rotund.
Oh.
You'll love to see
Oh,
it.
I love him.
You brought up towards his office where the doctor visited him once, and standing outside the door once again is Hawkfrost pounding on the door. It's like, this is not a day to let our differences stand between us. We need to do something.
Hawkfrost.
No.
Aye.
Hawkfrost.
Aye.
Oh, you piece of shit! You weren't even. God damn it! How'd the visit with our friend go? He says to Lena.
Oh, fine. Fixed his chair. He seemed a little less grouchy, which isn't saying
Did you
much.
stuff some mutagen down his gullet?
Well, yes. That's how he let me fix his chair. You know.
Mad Lamar waves his wand, opens the door, into his office, and you see displayed on the wall in a little glass casement is the blade, glimmering like gold, like a rose gold.
Oh, pretty.
Yeah.
Just
Please.
turned back to Hawkfrost and was like, that is how you store a piece of an artifact. Ah,
Well, we had it on a pedestal in the museum, but people kept stealing it.
I don't even care at this point.
I think Ferris just goes and starts taking the display case off the wall. She doesn't even ask.
Yeah, it comes off. It comes off the wall. It does. It's little things that you can twist on the back to take out the back and get the blade.
I will take out the hilt and like hold it out to Ferris for when she gets the blade out.
How many pieces
Yeah.
is the blade in?
Just one.
Oh, I thought it was going to be all smashed
Snapped in
up.
half.
Yeah. I assumed it would be like shattered pieces.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought we had like a Narsil deal
Narsil?
going on.
that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
You get the sense that the pieces were collected by the two academic bodies, but they could never agree to finish the fusion.
Okay, so theoretically, I can.
So as you pull out the wand, Hawkfrost is like, where did whatever.
What, the one?
Just went through my desk and stole a priceless artifact. It's getting stolen again. I want to throw that out there.
Yes.
It's not that
I mean,
important right now,
technically
but
your
we should remember.
aid stole
Assistant
it. Well,
gave it to us.
your assistant gave it to us.
Gear is useless. I have to find another one.
No, he's
No,
fantastic.
he was
he's
very helpful.
good.
He
The
may
only
have
reason
helped
the
save
city
the
will be-
city.
Yeah, we need
what
it.
she said. Listen to your vanguard.
Sorry, I think my audio's a bit out of
Sorry.
sync. I keep accidentally talking over people. I'm really sorry.
Fine,
Okay.
fine. Sorry, Vanguard and Heroes.
So theoretically, I can try and reforge this with a spell I've never cast before.
I mean, you saved Zeke with a spell you'd never cast before, so
True.
you're like 1 for 1.
True, but someone. Do we want to do this right now? Yeah.
I mean, we could reforge the sword and not do like the second part of it
Let's-
now, or I
but-
mean, we know where he is, so maybe.
I think it's
Or-
I think we should do it as
Wait.
soon as possible. We have
Mhm.
limited time. I'm sure the Baron knows what we're up to. So if we're doing it, we need to decide now who's
Yeah.
gonna swing it, who's gonna go inside it, and just get it
Um,
done.
So I should tell you what we did learn studying the blade through this time.
Please.
Theoretically, hypothetically, as far as we can tell, it should be able to cut anything. I'm assuming that's what you need to do. If you wanted to grant your wishes or something, it doesn't do that. Some people. But if you're worried that it might not work, if you can get the thing that it needs to cut to be more dense, more concentrated, that actually helps. It's kind of counterintuitive.
We're trying to
So get
sever a
closer.
soul tether.
So as
That's
close as
what-
possible.
What you're saying is,
Okay.
as long as we need to get the two parts of that tether as close as possible to each other. That's
So
not
I can tell,
correct.
kind of, I'm guessing based on everyone's glancing at the child, that's where the tether's going.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Madeline, and Madeline's shorter than Ro.
Yes.
Bro will shake his hand very excitedly because people don't normally actually try to shake their hand. They're just like, "Oh, you're a kid."
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of stuck to the Baron or something. Do you think the sword will work to stop that?
Legend says it could cut anything. A soul tether's a thing, right?
We might need more people for this because whoever's left wielding the sword is going to be exposed and holding the others' lives in their hands.
If it's for the city, I could. And then Hawkfrost kind of bumps forward and is like, "Excuse me, but there's absolutely no chance that you're going to sacrifice yourself for the city and not me."
Oh, first of all, no one's going to sacrifice themselves. This is just temporary, or so we've been told.
Neural breathes out some smoke and goes, "I do it."
I'm just like, "Fuck it, I'll do it."
Yeah.
Just
Hold my
honestly,
beer.
You just keep surprising me. You shouldn't even be here.
Well,
You should-
That's what I
mean,
keep telling myself. But maybe that means I'm here for a reason.
I mean, it felt pretty obvious that Ferris would swing it. We just need people to keep her safe
just
while she
need-
does that.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Protect Ferris.
Everett is like, I'd do it.
Just scraggle his
You,
hair. and
you always
go,
treat me like a child. You always treat me like a child, but this is something I could actually to really help protect the people I care about. That's
We
important.
believe you.
No, you're strong over it, but
Naima just catches Ferris's eye, like,
no, I'm sorry. I just saved you two, so you are not coming. You're staying here where it's safe.
Have to agree.
well, all of you shouldn't get in it because you all need to fight to save this city.
Have a point.
Wait, you're offering to go in the sword?
Yeah. He nods and Hawkfrost nods and the rest of them.
I do not want the two of you
No.
together in this sword. If there is
No.
any
Let's just
disagreement,
Okay, then it's gonna be me,
doesn't
not
work.
him. I'm taller, so I can fill out more of it.
Okay.
I don't think that's how it works.
Let me just tell you that whoever goes in the sword. First of all, no kids in the sword. What are we talking about? No, this is out of question. No kids in the sword. No teenagers in the sword.
No.
People that go in
Naima,
sword.
who is like 9
He's an
feet
adult.
tall, shoves Zake lightly.
No, I said what I said. No teenagers in the sword. Second, whoever goes in the sword needs to be razor sharp wit. You need to know what you want, otherwise this won't work.
No disagreements between you.
No disagreements. Otherwise, we're all
Disagree.
doomed.
The sword shatters.
Correct.
So at that point, that Alika shows up.
Oh,
I was hoping for.
It's like, well, I'm going in, so
You
there's
mean you're
one.
going in. You're not going in.
Yes, I am.
You're one of the best fighters in the entire city. We need you
I-
outside, protecting the
I hate
wielder.
I hate to agree with my nemesis here, but I think sending any of you 5 into it would just be a mistake.
Wait, what? What happens if the sword shatters while there's people in it? Will they still be okay?
Madamar just whistles high and long.
Mm.
It's not gonna happen though.
It doesn't
so don't
matter.
worry about that.
Because the sword is not going to shatter. Exactly, Lena. And you're not going in the sword. End of story.
and
Yeah,
Ferris
I-
points at Alika and she's like, and you're not going in the sword either.
Well,
If Alika
If
gets
you
to go
need
on the
me-
sword, then I
if
get to
you-
go on the sword.
If you get... You can be sharp-witted. You need to have a diligence of purpose. You need to agree with what the wielder's doing. She looks at you.
She has a point. And I don't mean the sword. I mean, Alika.
yeah.
Does.
And
But I
I
don't like it.
think if anyone is suited for this, it is.
But that's only one. We need 3.
I trust the professor.
These
Sorry,
two buffoons can
Hawkfrost.
get it together. Points at the
That's
quarreling
a big
professors.
if. That's a big. if,
Can't
though.
risk their personal quarrels shattering this sword. Especially not if Alika's in there.
That's his personal quarrel. He never got over it. I'm fine. Trust me.
So you
Okay.
then.
I vote Madelamar goes in.
Harkfrost looks so upset, but then just stuffs it.
Hawkfrost, we
you
need
can
you
come with
outside.
us.
You are so strong. Defending. Ooh.
He chugs out a potion, hands it to Madlamar. Takes it. For Valerith.
2.
Fuck it, I can, says Neural.
Neural, are you sure?
This isn't your fight.
You've been through so
I
much
think what
because
you're
of me
doing
already.
here is- I think what you're doing here is really beautiful. Making something, grabbing something that was lost that's shining. If I die trying to help with that, that's probably more than my life was worth anyway.
Please don't talk like that.
Who is me, the angry professor, one of the children? What else you got in mind?
Let's get something straight. No one is dying. That's why we're choosing people that know what they're doing, okay? Can do this. If you're willing to go in, damn, you're just a bigger person than I could ever be. And I'll accept it gladly.
Let's reforge a sword. Come on.
Okay.
Okay.
I saw Janan cast this spell once. I know little about it, but were you ever taught the sacrifice spell properly?
I know a little bit. I know people have these sparks inside them, one per person, and you need two to bring something to properly do with the spell. So two people have to
But it's not a
give
person,
up their
it's an
spark.
object.
I'm just saying how it normally works. I've never resurrected an object. So presumably it won't have one, so it'll have to come from other people.
Ah. Okay.
And how does that work?
Well, sparks have the things that they're an aspect of what tethers you to this world. So you use them, you're a little harder to bring back. People can't rely on yours to bring you back later if you die, and someone needs to sacrifice to bring you back to life.
Yeah, it's an exchange.
It's priced to everything with magic. That's how the rules were written.
Mm-hmm. So we have another decision to make.
Fucking rules.
So
Ferris will just
two-
start laying
What?
out the sword on the floor.
Let me at least do this one, Hawkfrost says. No, if I die, I'm not worth bringing back anyway.
Both of them?
I only have one.
Okay.
Naima tries to catch your eye again.
I guess I'll give the other one then.
I don't think it should be you, Ferris. I can do it.
No, Doctor, you need to stick around until you cure this thing. So you can take mine. That's fine.
My master has all of the information. He just has to go get a flower. I'm not necessary anymore. Besides, I'm going to die.
Well, none of us are going to die yet. It's fine.
Can't in good conscience let you. And if you have... You are
What
going
do I
to
have?
leave Zeke if it happens.
I'm not, though. Because it's going to be fine. I mean, after this, how dangerous can life get? It'll just be smooth sailing after this.
Grabs Lena's hands. Don't say that. Because you don't know what the future brings.
But we need
Please.
to get there first.
Lena. Let them do it. Please.
Fine.
Hey. Thank you.
I'm just gonna put my head into Zink's chest.
Just holds her tight. Kisses her forehead. It'll all be fine.
Right.
Hawkfrost reaches out and puts his hand across the hilt and the blade.
Falwyn. Varys kneels down in front of the sword and starts weaving magic in the air between Hawkfrost and Falwyn, and begins to glow profusely and starts to try and draw a spark from each of them for the sword.
Actually, see the sparks travel out of them, center of their chest. They shimmer, but in a way that is brighter when you don't look right at them. And then they travel down to the sword. There's one single flash of light, like blinking, but the direct opposite. Everything gets so bright and white, you can't see from it. And when it's done, the sword is whole. Just a small, short sword, one-handed blade, girded with the souls of the determined, can cut through anything. So the legends say.
It worked.
You hear the Baron's voice projected throughout the city. You think that old letter opener is going to stop me? You better be ready.
Gonna.
I haven't even started playing the game yet. And with a shudder, Camille disappears.
Like, turns to ash or just vanishes?
Fades away.
What?
Naima like waves her big arm right where he used to be. He's just gone, and then she disappears.
Oh
Gonna quickly grab my earring and just be like, any chance your friends are getting here soon?
Like, fast as they can. We have to do this quickly then. And Madelamar just grasps the sword, and just closes his eyes and says, "Hope I see you on the other side." And he just disappears, fading into light, and glowing the first of the gems up, a vibrant orange.
Faris will pick the sword up and stand up with it, like, held in both her hands.
Hawkfrost disappears, just fades away. Neural runs up, across the room. Give it to me.
Puts her hands out.
They pick it up. Don't fuck this up. As they turn into a deadish light and fill one of the gems with a dead gray.
Faris will walk over to Alika.
She just kisses you. Kind of quickly.
I love you.
Love you too. I believe in you.
Holds out the sword.
You grasp it over your hand and disappears and lights up the last gem, purple.
Zake, can I borrow your scabbard?
Of course. Takes it out of his back and she's the scimitar and hands Faris
Yes.
the scabbard.
Scabbard discretion makes whatever blade you put in turn invisible.
Mm.
Good shout.
Faris will put the sword in the scabbard and then strap it to her hip. Cast shield on herself
you just-
again.
Tiny disappears.
No!
Batinga's standing there, the only one, I believe, I've done my mental math right, the only one besides y'all left there. And goes,
Everett, right?
And
Oh, yeah, and
and
Everett.
Everett, too. Everett falls to the ground and Tiny disappears.
Oh,
He just holds out this gun to Ro.
they'll take it and just be like, I'm really glad you didn't turn to dust before.
I hope I still don't. He
I
disappears.
want you. Like as he's disappearing.
Batinga standing there. Maybe I'm just not important enough. Maybe he'll just forget about me. I just make scones. It's just I just make scones. Please.
Hey.
Guys,
It'll be okay.
You'll be fine.
We're gonna fix this.
the worst fucking neighbors.
I know. Sorry.
I know, we're sorry.
We'll fix this.
Coming for you.
Oh, some scones outside the door. He disappears. And the five of you stand in this empty office in Grunville Public College. Sword of Valerith. Invisible in your scabbard.
While the ritual was happening, Zeke was carefully just removing the probably super damaged now Solari armor and just shoving it aside and just to stay in tank topish under armor that he was wearing underneath. Takes his sword out, no longer protected by the discretion scabbard. Casts Fiery Avenger on it. Looks at everyone else. This is it, yeah?
Yeah, we have to make this work. We don't have a choice.
Go kill a lich.
Hey,
Right.
if we survive
this.
this, we basically survive everything. So let's just do it, huh?
Fucking kill him.
Let's
If
do the
not,
impossible
Ferris.
twice.
If not, see you on the other side, yeah? Right, fuckwit! We're ready!
And that's where we're gonna end the session.
Like,
Oh
There's some
my
stakes.
God.
There's some
Yeah.
stakes.
Oh my
Mm.
God.
The real stakes were the friends we made along the way.
Yup. We shouldn't have made so many fucking friends.
Yep.
Why are we
Y'all
so
made friends.
likable?
I'm like,
Ooh.
I'm like, Lena will be fine. Zake's not gonna disappear.
Oh my God.
Oh my god.
Damn.
Wow.
Fuck.
So this would be a lovely time to announce, by the way, that next week we are going to be playing, same time, same place, and we're going to have a special guest, a quest guest. We're going to have the creator of Quest join us next week for this showdown, which is just going to be fucking delicious.
Why didn't anybody
Mr.
tell
Quest is going to Mr. Guest.
Mr. Quest will be Mr.
Ah.
Quest.
I don't think after that,
You keep
if he
s-
sees the clip, he's not gonna
Uh-oh.
come anymore, I think.
Yeah,
You're just gonna, Izzo, you're just speaking these memes into existence. First Baswolder, now Mr. Guest.
Yeah, it always turns out really well for me. I don't see the problem.
Yeah, no
Oh.
downsides ever.
Right. So,
we are so excited.
Yeah, seriously.
so
Make sure to catch next
Tune in.
week's episode.
yeah. Catch us
Yeah.
next week, 6:30 Eastern Time, right here.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Robert, start the outro chain, and also this time I just want, because I'm feeling jolly, just say something you enjoyed about the session. Doesn't have to be big, doesn't have to be small, just something you enjoyed.
Yeah. So, hi. My name is Robert. You can find me on the internet at Voices of Robert. I'm here every day at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, currently daylight time. Freaking played the doctor today. Usually every Tuesday I do a Pokemon stream, but I've been unwell and haven't done it for 3 weeks now, and don't know if I'm gonna do it tomorrow. We'll see. Basically, if you want to see it, check my Twitter. I may still stream even if I don't do Pokemon, just like some kind of chill thing, so that would also go up on my Twitter. Should I also talk about the crimson water that floats through the air at all? Are we talking about that?
What?
Excuse me?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Sure.
How did you think we were going to understand what you meant from that?
Well, you know, I said it last week in chat, and I thought everyone understood me.
What? Are we in a cult now? What is happening?
I mean, we've been in a cult.
Well, I was given the shirt by Nunu, so I'm just gonna say it. We also, just for fun, just for funsies, we made a Redbubble where you can get merch if you really, totally want. There Sam goes.
How the fuck does that equal anything you said?
Bubbles are made of water and they float. Red, crimson.
So I was in the bathroom. I was hearing this. And I'm just like, what the fuck is Robert on about? I have no fucking clue.
Oh my god.
We open a Redbubble where you can buy the memes that we put on shirts. I think Sam is wearing one right now.
I am, but I can't function right now.
So you got our SKUs, you got our logo, we got a Batinga's Bakery, which just looks divine on a tote bag or an apron. We basically made it for us, but if you want to wear one of our wearable memes, yeah.
Lena's rope
Wearable
depot.
memes.
It wasn't made for you, but we're gonna let you if you want. A thing I liked from this session, honestly, I have to be completely honest, it was the multiple we need to have a talk from Ferris. I just enjoyed that so much. Oh yeah, somebody put in because but yeah, that is moi, the person who says crimson water that floats. And I shall hand it off to Megan.
Hi. I'm Megan. I have been Lena, your spy. You can find me anywhere you can find a person on the internet. Megan Lynn FTW. You can find me. Jesus. Oh my god. You can find me here tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern for my monthly stream Unprepared, where I facilitate GM-less and prep-less games for my friends. Tomorrow we are playing my amazing friend Ethan's equally amazing game, One Last Fight. It's a card-based game about a group of adventurers going for a final confrontation with their nemesis, and it's super, super fun. I'm really excited to play it, so you can tune in here to watch it. Otherwise, you can find me along with the wonderful Sam and Izza on the Protean City Comics podcast in the new comics line, The Incidentals. The first episode dropped last Wednesday, and I think that there's going to be a new one this Wednesday. I don't know. James will correct me in chat if that is incorrect, but I think there might be another one. Maybe. Speaking of podcasts in really good segues, we are expanding here at No Initiative, and gonna make some new podcasts, and the first one we've announced is one that I am going to be show running called Fear's Reach, which is going to be a horror anthology style podcast in the vein of Are You Afraid of the Dark? So it'll be a cast of people facilitating different horror one-shots for a group of characters. So if that sounds like something that you would be into, there is an open casting form open right now. I will put the link to the tweet that has the form in it in chat. That will stay open through mid-June, and we're hoping to start recording in the summer and have it released around Halloween time. First episode releasing around Halloween time. So I'm very, very excited about it. So you can go check that out. Otherwise, also, I am an indie game designer and I design some games. And if you want to see games that I design, you can find them at meganlynnftw.itch.io. And now, before I stop talking, what did I like? I always selfishly pick moments that feature me, because hello. and also I'm selfish. I just really like, just like small moments between Lena and Zeke always get to me. But like that last little moment where he was just like, no, like, just like for me, stay here, just like got me so good, right in the heart. And just like the image of them just like standing together, like all snugly as like this whole big to do is going on, is just like, Nunu, you're so good, and I'm so happy to get to explore them as characters with you.
I will never stop wrecking your heart, Megan.
Please don't. Please don't. My heart is here to be wrecked. And with that, I will pass it over to my beloved twin, Izza.
Hey, I'm the British Megan, and I played Faris today.
Yeah, from the American Izza to the British Megan.
So yeah, hey, I'm Izza, the British Megan. If you want to find more of what I do, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube at Evil Clever Dog. I make cool videos about making cool things on YouTube. Go watch them, please. Thank you. I also do a bunch of other TTRPG streaming and stuff, as well as the aforementioned incidentals. On Fridays, I am in a Spire actual play along with Nat called Downfall over on twitch.tv/FinTheBin. Me and Megan are also going to be in an upcoming Aegon podcast, and I'm also part of the Asians Represent Critical Read Al Qadim podcast, which is every third Saturday of the month. So yeah, come watch those things if you want to. And for my moment, I'm going to cheat and say 2 moments because I can't ignore Alika saying I love you back, but also I can't ignore the Beswalders. So there you go.
I'm glad you enjoyed your being afflicted by your own horrible memes.
Loved it.
Multiple, can I say 10?
Terrible. That scene was atrocious.
I don't know what you're talking about. I like to think that sometimes our viewers like watching us all melt in laughter.
I hope so, because it happens quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, it really validated my shitlord tendencies, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh no, what have you done?
It's all about the memes.
I'm
Why
even
did I
more
pick
powerful
this?
now.
Why did I pick this?
You chose this.
Yeah.
Because
Anyway.
you knew at least 1/3 of us would love it.
Exactly.
Anyway, that's me.
Yeah, which leads to me. Yeah, I'm Nunu. I played Zeke the Charmblade today and every Monday. And yeah, if you like what I do here, you can follow me on Twitter or everywhere else where you find people online at jnunotex. Yeah, the only show I've got going currently is this one, so make sure you tune in. If you're there, you probably do regularly. Apart from that, I'm also the gameplay specialist / resident storyteller for One More Multiverse. You can check out this amazing retro video game / TTRPG virtual tabletop platform at multiverse.com, and we are starting to host more and more games for our Discord community. So if you'd like to check how the platform works and maybe play some games while we're at it, make sure to join our Discords and and say something, because I'm going to be there on Discord waiting for you. And my favorite moment, I think, was the absolute brilliant bickering between the 2 professors, because that was super fun.
Glad you enjoyed that.
Yep.
Please tell me at one point they dated, because that's like X energy that I've never seen
I will
before.
only accept that as canon.
Like, it's one thing to ship characters together, but it's even more powerful to determine that they already had dated and are now exes. That's an even more powerful energy.
Before today, in my head, it was definitely they used to have a very positive relationship. I hadn't defined what exactly that was, but now I have.
Yeah.
Nice. That's me, Sam. Go ahead.
Oh, hey everyone. I am Sam. You can find me on Twitter at @TheSamWisest. I am the Samwise Game G here on Twitch. I'm our accessibility director here at the Chromatic Chimera. You can see me right back here on Wednesday in our 13th Age game, Woven Realm. I also edit the podcast version of the Soaring City, which you can find on No Initiative's Anchor feed. We're on Spotify, on Google Play, on Apple, pretty much all your favorite, podcasting platforms. You can find us. We are gearing up for June's Pride Month here at the Chromatic Chimera. So starting in June, all of our subs and bits are going to be donated. We're gonna get a Tiltify up. We're still finalizing, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be raising funds for the Transgender Law Center. Because if you didn't know, trans rights are under an abominable amount of bullshit legislation attempts right now, and we think that would be a really great way to do what we can to help support trans rights. So if you'll be around for June, save your like Amazon Prime sub and stuff, because everything's gonna be donated for a good cause. I think that's pretty much all I've got at this point now. So Nat?
Moment you liked?
Oh shit, that's right. I think a moment I liked was our poor soft baker boy being all scared and concerned, like right at the end. Like he was just not cut out for the adventuring lifestyle, and we are in fact the worst neighbors. So I feel very bad for poor Mr. Batinga.
I was gonna say that one, so I'm glad you did. I really enjoyed that.
Just your like little soft voice for him being all concerned like before he disappeared was breaking my heart.
He was very scared.
I know.
I'm Nat. I've been the guide. If you enjoyed this, come back next week. Trust me, it'll be worth it.
Yeah.
If you didn't enjoy it, still come back next week.
Yeah, that's the joke. I never make that joke. I don't have the confidence to pull it off, unlike you, Megan.
That's cute.
I know, that's the joke. That's the joke I made instead.
That's the joke.
I'm also part of Downfall, which is mentioned on Fridays at twitch.tv/FinnTheBin at 5 Eastern time. Don't know why I'm giving an Eastern time, because it's like I'm Pacific and it's based in GMT, whatever. Anyway, I have all the time zones. I am a time wizard.
Oh no, he's gonna use time storm.
You're gonna turn
coin.
baby dragon into thousand dragon.
Yeah, exactly. You can also follow me at CrimeNat, KREIMNAT on Twitter, and of course we here at No Initiative are Quest affiliates. So if you enjoy this game, if you want to show TC some love next week, you can use our code No Initiative, all caps, no spaces, to get 10% off anything in their store.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. So like the last half hour was just forging the sword and a lot of sad NPCs and stuff. And honestly, I was just eating the whole thing. Like that is a scene that you have to spend, a couple 100 hours of game time to earn. And I really loved it.
It was great.
It was really good.
I genuinely nearly had tears in my eyes when the kids started disappearing. I was like, oh no.
I was tearing up as Batinga at the end there.
Yeah, that was so sad.
Yeah. You're wielding your
I did
girlfriend
nearly
though.
cry. I'll cry on stream. I'm wielding my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wife sword.
Wife sword.
Oh,
All right.
well.
Oh, that's like some why is my brain blanking? It's like some transistor energy right there.
Yes.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
All
I love
right.
that.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
Well, we're gonna raid,
That's
I
us.
think. Yeah, we'll raid our friends over at Critical Misses, who are actually gonna be helping us out with our Pride fundraiser next month. We're gonna be doing a sort of joint Pride effort with Critical Misses, so give them some love when we pop over today.
Uwu's in chat.
Uwu's in chat. Yeah.
You know it.
You know it. You know the drill. And
You know
seriously,
it. You love it. Or
we
something.
love you all so much. And
See you
we'll
next
ya.
week.
See you next week.
Woo!
Woo!
Mr. Guest.
Raid.
Mr. Guest.
Rated. We're rated.
We're gone.
So
So that was an
course,
episode.
they're on
Stop your
break.
recordings.
Yeah,
stop your
stop
recordings.
recordings. Oh my gosh.
God, yeah, that last half hour, fuck.
That was fucking
Damn.
I
yeah.
was like